Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
By now, you've probably seen ads about water contamination at Camp Lejeune everywhere on TV, social media, and probably even following you around on the internet. The water at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune was contaminated with toxic chemicals for more than 3 decades. It is not rare for people who drank this water for an extended period of time to develop severe illness, including kidney cancer, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, leukemia, liver cancer, bladder cancer, birth defects, Parkinson's, and more. A new law called the PACT Act allows victims of poisoned water to seek repayment for their medical costs. What those other ads don't tell you is that because the PACT Act is a fresh law, it is important to find an attorney who understands the new claims forms. There is limited time to file your Camp Lejeune claim, so you need a lawyer who can get it right the first time. The experienced team of attorneys at sickmarine.com is ready to file your claim. They will fight for you and won't take no for an answer. To file your claim and to have your case prioritized, sign up at sickmarine.com.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? The New Jersey courts are hiring. Make a difference doing work that matters. With competitive salaries, pension, benefits, on-the-job training, partial remote work, and paid holidays. Apply now at njcourts.gov/careers.
Dale un toque de otoño a tu closet con JCPenney, con hasta 40% de descuento en suéteres, jeans y accesorios para él y ella. Y espera, porque tenemos más estilos y opciones para ti. Encuentra jeans acampanados, el clásico pantalón negro, abrigos y blazers. Mezcla y combina nuestras versátiles marcas como St. John's Bay, Mutual Weave, A&A y más. Compra con estilo. JCPenney. Oferta válida hasta el 25 de octubre en selección de estilos. Aplican exclusiones. Detalles en la tienda jcp.com.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Welcome to Gen Exhausted. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
I'm Jess.
The marching band's here with us.
Hey, listen, the Vols won. They beat Bama.
Yeah, Jess from Tennessee. It's no secret on this show. So
yes, it's such a big deal. It's such a big deal here. So,
hold on 1 second. I want to ask Chris something real quick. You couldn't find the fight turds or the
no
the fight song turd.
No, that's his thing. Plus, then you'd have to sing. No, you gotta have the band singing Rocky Top too.
Okay. Anyways, I just
watch college football enough to know how that's the version you gotta have.
All right, I'm just podcasting for two. Okay, let's go.
Anyway, so we beat Alabama. Because I take complete ownership in this. Obviously, I was out there on the field.
You're on the field.
Yes.
You ran a series, yeah.
No, y'all saw that field goal, right? Like, that was me. I was identifying as a male that day.
It's sexist that you go right to kicker, being a lady.
Right? No, so it was SEC football in the South. For anyone who is not a Southerner, we care about that more than we care about our own children's birthday parties. We care about it more than we care about weddings. It's a deal down here. And I don't know what exactly. I mean, I guess just because Alabama always beats Tennessee, it's made Bama a huge rival. It's like our number one rival. And we haven't beat them in 17 years. They've beat us 16 times.
I got news for you. They're your rival.
Yeah.
You ain't their rival. They ain't worried about you. Believe me, trust me, I know how this goes.
There's that little L-shaped state right next to them they care a little bit more about.
Yeah.
Damn straight they do. Well, and also, I don't know how many years in a row they got national championship. Bama always gets national championship, and they lost it last year to Georgia, which was another really big deal. But we, quite literally, in Tennessee, we were closing stores early. One of my family members went to get an oil change, and they were literally about to close because everyone was going to have to be able to get home in time to watch the game. I would assume the grocery store was dead. I don't know. I wasn't leaving the house. We were glued to this, and it was such a good game. And then we tore down the field goal per tradition.
Threw it in the river.
Per tradition.
Why? Why is that tradition?
Listen, I don't know. I know one year whenever we beat Georgia, it was either Georgia or Auburn. Everyone went outside and lit a bunch of mattresses on fire, and now they're calling that a tradition. But that was just in Knoxville.
Yeah, burning shit after college football.
Well, here up in Michigan State, they burn couches.
Yeah, they throw them off second story apartment balconies into the street while they're flaming. There's been a couple of instances of that happening after big wins. But
Cool.
here's my thing. Okay, you won, great, wonderful. Congratulations. Why the fuck does that school make a GoFundMe to fucking replace the goalpost? You're telling me out of everybody, all the alum that have graduated Tennessee that are boosters for that fucking program, nobody can fucking put up.
All the commerce that football program generates. You can't break some off for some new goalposts.
I don't expect them to. I mean, that means you expect us to pay for something? Fuck
right.
that. So I mean, but yeah, go to your fucking your boosters or whatever. And I mean, it's not like your Appalachian State. If they were to lose their goalpost,
yeah,
maybe they would need a GoFundMe. You're Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So, hold on. Let me find...
and $1.5 million as the goal?
What? No, it was 100,000.
Was it 100,000 or was it what did they say on?
Well, I know a podcast I listened to actually researched how much these things cost. $25,000 can get you two of them. You can get a set. You can do one in each end zone for $25,000.
So there's still juice in the fucking books. You don't need 100,000 or 1.5 mil.
Yeah.
You need $50,000.
No, I'm saying you need $25,000 total to set up both end zones.
I mean, I'm just thinking if shit goes wrong, you want to budget for more if you're in school. So
you're budgeting a lot for labor and shipping.
Yeah. Oh, pure fuckery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. So you're saying but still, good point. Doubling what it costs, still only $50,000.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for you on that. Don't know.
I mean,
Maybe the cost to fish it out of the river also. They hired someone to come do that.
Yo, a bunch of hicks down there. You telling me you can't find a bunch of white people to go fishing?
Maybe they got to buy Maybe they got to buy another set. Are you playing Georgia at home this year? Like, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen again?
I don't know if we do that for Georgia. That's just a Bama thing, I think. It's not every win.
Hey, we won. We're fucking this shit up.
Yes.
See, you guys desperately need like what a lot of teams in the Big Ten have. When they have their rivalry games, they have like little trophies and shit. Y'all just need that instead of destroying your own shit.
Here's our trophy. We're throwing this shit in the river.
Yeah, we're tearing down our own house. I mean,
I think we play Georgia away this time. So.
But yeah, like with Michigan and Michigan State, it's the Paul Bunyan statue. It's the battle of the mitten.
Michigan, Minnesota's the little brown jug.
The little brown jug, yeah. Like just nonsense. But I
forget Michigan. Big things to Michigan, Ohio State actually has a name. I forget what they actually, because we all just know it as Michigan, Ohio State. But the day of the game, they always fucking tell you what it's actually. It's the battle of fucking something. I forget.
I don't know. The 10-year war is what they called it when Woody and Bo were both coaching, and then Battle of 75. I don't know. I don't know because Columbus. I'm thinking Toledo. Toledo's right south of us. Anyways, so I got to ask because we're not in Tennessee, but we have the internet. And I've seen a few videos of some people doing shit that's probably going to make them either crippled or wish that they had never done it as they get older. And I'm just like, so was that a common thing? Like, were you guys like, did you have local reports of emergency room visits went up 200% following the Tennessee Volunteers win?
Did someone punch a horse?
No. I mean, I'm sure someone did that night, but I don't know if it was because of the Tennessee game.
See,
I don't. I haven't heard anything. I have heard absolutely nothing.
Yeah, see, like up here, like in '84 when the Tigers won, our baseball team, they pretty much like rioted. I mean, riot. I mean, it wasn't like 67 or something.
Set
like that.
A cop car on fire upside down, rioted.
But I mean, that's cars on fire in side streets in Detroit is just a Tuesday afternoon. That's just normal.
Right.
But and I'm not exaggerating. But yeah, like they rushed the field, pulled up the fucking grass and all that shit, blah, 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 blah. But then when all the Red Wings won, like there were still parties. I was down there in 2002. I was at the Detroiter partying when they won. I mean, we were passing around homemade Stanley Cups, drinking out of them and shit, fucking with complete strangers. I probably got 15 different types of fucking...
You couldn't move on Gratiot between 12 Mile and 10 Mile. It was just a parking lot. People getting out of their cars, partying and shit.
But it wasn't violent.
No.
And it wasn't destructive.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
Because white people behave.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's college kids drinking.
Oh, yeah.
Partying, drinking way too much, not knowing your limit, gets out of hand, mob mentality takes over, boom. But no, I mean, like in 2002, like it was... we're walking out of the Detroiter and walking to another bar, and this guy's coming down the sidewalk, and he's just smoking a fucking joint. He's like, "You guys want some?" We're like, "Yeah, go Wings, all right." And then like I go to hand it to my buddy, and he's like just sitting there with this horrified look on his face, and I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Look over there," and there's a fucking cop staring at us, and I'm like, "There's no way I can play this off. He knows what this is." I mean,
at this point, yeah.
I'm just like,
would you like to share my cigarette, friend?
I'm like, dude, either take it or just turn and walk. Because I'm just like, he's staring right at me, and he's just smiling. He's like, "You guys keep moving. Thank you, officer. Have a good one." So, I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
well, you were down in Detroit. The city of Detroit, even before weed was legal, is always, the attitude down there towards weed's been a little more lax.
Well, and this was 20 years ago when the Wings won. And
yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, they were probably waiting for something to pop off. And they're like,
whatever.
I'd rather see a bunch of people smoking weed in the streets than tipping bottles in the streets.
A couple white kids with weed, move along.
It was a mixed crew that night, but yeah. But, so... Here's my thing. So what did you do? Like, did you have a party? Was this like, did you host people? Did you go to a party? What did you guys do?
We had my family over. That was it. We have another group of friends that usually comes over, but he was working, so they ended up skipping out on this one. My brother-in-law made smoked brats for the game, like had it all planned out. I made hot slaw. Have y'all ever heard of hot slaw?
No.
I mean, of course I have, but
I
run with
never heard of it. It popped on our radar. Someone asked us about it, and we're like, I mean, don't know what it is, but sounds good. So we looked it up, and you take bacon and you cook it up, and then in the bacon grease you wilt down some cabbage, and you're supposed to do a carrot. I forgot the carrot next time. And onion, and you make like a vinegary mixture and cook it in it. And it sounds not great. And honestly, especially
sounds delicious.
Between the cabbage smell and the vinegar smell, it did not smell great, but holy shit, this stuff was amazing.
Well, the pork in it probably makes it taste delicious.
Yes. And then apple pie. And that's what we did. And we get together, my family and I get together for most of the games. And, usually we have them on like kind of in the background as we're all chatting. No one was talking. This was serious business. And it was, the fourth quarter, we couldn't breathe. It was I've never been that invested in a game in my life.
You guys all head down to the river as a family after the game?
No.
Watch the goalpost float by?
I don't think it would have made it from Knoxville. We're a little ways away, but I'm about 2 hours from Knoxville. And people were shooting off fireworks. Like as soon as that field goal was kicked, people literally outside on my street are shooting off fireworks. We took this seriously.
Are fireworks legal in Tennessee? Or do you got to go like to Georgia or some shit?
No, they are. There's certain like cities that allow them, certain counties that allow them, and they're all like bordering each other, and no one listens to it really.
See, I
so
thought you got south of the Ohio River, and it was just game on with fireworks.
No, you definitely definitely, especially in cities, they're not legal. In some cities, not all of the cities. But I don't think they're legal in Chattanooga city limits. One of the other ones, there's a good handful of, I could name like specific places that would mean nothing to anybody, but it just depends on where you are, but it's absolutely not enforced even a little bit.
And no incidents being reported of violence or anything, right?
No.
Only to goalposts.
Only to goalposts.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. Like society's changed in our lifetime, because when we were kids, it was expected to rush the field, to tear down the goalposts, to fucking do all this shit. You know, tear up the if your team wins World Series, run on the field, tear up the grass. Now people are like, hey, buddy, we won. Good for us. Go team. You know, and it's like, does anyone just like get into a fight in the parking lot?
Right.
But no. I mean, like, it's just funny because, you know, I'm trying to think, like, when's the last time there's been, like, sports-related violence here?
Well, because no one's been good for a while, so it's been a while.
Well, no. I mean, like, that we remember the story and it made national news.
The Malice at the Palace?
No, I'm talking, like, fan violence. Not violence.
Malice at the Palace? Yeah.
One fan starting shit and getting away with it. When Vancouver lost and they rioted, I think that was Vancouver. I think that was like in the last 10, 12 years. I don't know. It's just funny.
No, the worst we've had is that there, like with any big game, there were some controversial calls made by the refs. So we've had some people, you know, run their mouth about it. Like, you know, the refs were on your side, but
that happens in every fucking game. Someone's going to bring up a shitty call that's butthurt about losing.
Well, Bama is challenging. They filed a complaint about a call that they threw a flag down and said it was targeting, and then the ref said it wasn't targeting. And I could definitely see. I don't know enough about it, if I'm being honest, but I could definitely see how they would think how that could be targeting. And if you watch the videos, especially from certain angles, it does look a lot like targeting. But it ended up not being called. So Alabama has filed some sort of official complaint for that to be reviewed.
Well, even if it is, it won't change the outcome of the game.
No.
You're not getting your W back.
No. Did y'all see the clip of Nick Saban losing his mind?
No.
Oh, I've got to send that. He is such, everyone here knows who he is. And he's so cool, calm, and collected at all times. You'll see a scowl.
Nick Saban don't lose his shit. It's not like
no, I know.
Thing.
And he was there. There was this Tennessee had to punt the ball away, and they made the punt. Bama got it, and then they fumbled it immediately, and Tennessee got it. And when that happened, he literally is jumping up and down and he is screaming. And you can see, just from his mouth moving, him yelling, "What the fuck are you doing?" And it's been turned into a viral thing here. I'll send that.
Well, I mean, Nick Saban doesn't really have a whole lot of fucking lost love up here. He kind of left state in the lurch, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, well, that's his thing. Until he ended up at Alabama, he would go to he went to state, then he left, and he went to the Dolphins. He didn't even last the season at the Dolphins, did he?
Oh no, he lasted a few seasons, didn't he?
At the Dolphins?
Yeah, he was terrible.
I thought he went to Alabama. Right. Anyways, long story short, I ain't got no love lost for Nick Saban. So if he lost, fuck him, and fuck Alabama. Fucking before the NIL and before they started, allowing college football or college athletes to make money off their own fucking name and likeness and signatures and shit. He was running a crooked ass program, so fuck him. And he pious, fucking holier than thou son of a bitch.
Why you're right? One season Dolphins, 05 to 06.
Yeah, I never really cared for Nick Saban as a coach, because it's dude, you went to Alabama and you got the best college football team money can buy, and you're acting like you did something.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a smart ass. I could probably put Earl in that position and he'd fucking be successful. I'm not saying he's going to be as successful, but he's going to have a winning fucking record after a decade. I guarantee it.
Right.
So, yeah. That's also why I take, like, I mean, I'm a Michigan fan. I don't give a fuck about Tennessee one way or the other. But, I mean, I'll enjoy Alabama taking it on the chin.
You're having a good year. You had a good Saturday.
No, it's not a good year because at the end of the year, Ohio State, and it's just more big Ohio dick and Michigan ass is just what it's going to be. So what is
Ohio State's ranked number 2, aren't they?
I don't give a fuck. Ohio State's they're shit. So yeah, they're probably number 2. Just Michigan. In 20 years, Michigan ain't done shit since to Ohio State. I'm fucking over it. So I just go, I don't even pencil it in. I take permanent magic marker and break that shit, putting it on the board. Loss. And we ain't winning. That's just all there is to it. And if they're like, well, it was a close game, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? It was competitive. It wasn't like, I almost have to start taking up drinking again because they ain't coming back in this fucking half, you know. So yeah, that's all I want. But yeah, Nick Saban doesn't have a lot of love lost up here, so I'm sure there's a whole lot of people that are enjoying the fact that he bidded against a team that I'm pretty sure that most of the fucking Tide thought they had fucking pretty much wrapped up that game. So.
I had been seeing a lot of talk that Tennessee was projected to beat Alabama. The thing of it is Tennessee has sucked for so long. Like, we've been so bad for so long that I had a friend text me and she was starting to kind of like smack talk a little bit. She's a Bama fan. And I couldn't even respond. I was like, yeah, you know, I'm going to watch anyway. And she's like, no, you've got to stop this. Like, y'all are doing good. We're a little intimidated by you. And I'm like, really?
Oh,
are
yeah.
we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was both undefeated.
Yep. And so it was so talked about and so anticipated. And like I said, even with the Georgia game, no one is as hyped as they were about the Tennessee game. Like, we'll be watching extra close, but no one is as hyped. That was it. That was Super Bowl in the middle of the season.
Peyton Manning on game day conducting the band like he did. 95. But no, last time I remember you guys being relevant, I was in high school.
Yeah.
Like, it has been a minute.
No, I mean, I wasn't even born at that point, so. No, we're really not. We haven't been good. We have not been good at all. So that's a big joke down here right now, is that Tennessee fans are trying to relearn how to be proud fans instead of just, like, kicked fans.
Well, you still got to beat Georgia, so have fun with that.
We'll see about that. I don't know.
Defending national champion Georgia.
I know, but their playing's a little hit or miss right now. Like, they're obviously they're undefeated, but watching them play the little bit or the couple times that I've actually watched a Georgia game, my husband's a Georgia fan, and a couple times that I've watched them, they don't have a hard schedule. So of course they're going to be undefeated right now. Their schedule is stupid easy. They're not playing Alabama at all. I think they may have played Florida. Let's see.
What's the new trend in college football right now? Like, Michigan had their first real opponent this week. It's like the first ranked team they'd played.
Why are they doing that?
Because they use these lesser teams. They pay them a big payday to come out and take an ass whooping. They basically use them as a preseason game.
Okay.
And then you have to understand, college football scheduling is done years and years and years in advance. So you could schedule, I mean, let's say if you scheduled to play, like, let's say Tennessee, just for shits and giggles, in 2000 wanted to play Michigan. Michigan's like, we can fit you in 2007. You can come to Michigan, and we can't do it in 2008 to return the favor to come to Tennessee, but we'll do it in 2009. That's like, you know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Michigan in 2000 was 3 years removed from a national championship. Michigan in 2009 was a shit show. You see what I'm saying? Like you're that far. I mean, I think it might be I think 5 years is how far out they schedule. But I mean, there is a chance that the team's going to be bad unless it's a rivalry game, and then it's just automatic. You play each other every year, which I'm assuming is going on with Tennessee and Bama.
Right, but that also used to go on with Georgia and Bama.
Well, real politics shit and for fucking college football. So podcasting for no one. But there you go. That's what you get with all the consolidation of these fucking conferences and shit. Yeah. As these conferences grow, you're just going to get, I mean, instead of having a conference and having 10 teams and 5 teams and, play, they play each other and then they play a few out of conference games. I mean, they're looking at conferences up to 20 teams. There's no way teams can all play each other. There's just not enough fucking time. So, I mean, I see that trend coming. So kind of get used to that.
Yeah, literally, though, Georgia has played Oregon, Samford, South Carolina, Kent State, Missouri, and Auburn and Vanderbilt.
Ooh.
Well, maybe 20 years ago, Oregon would have been something to brag about.
Right. So now, and then they have Florida coming up, and then they play Tennessee, then Mississippi State, Kentucky, and Georgia Tech. So literally, the only ranked teams they're playing are Tennessee and Kentucky. I think South Carolina was ranked when they played them. I don't know if they still are. But Tennessee's had to take on Florida and LSU and Alabama. We still have Kentucky coming up, Georgia, South Carolina. It seems a little unfair, and we're doing pretty good. That's all I'm saying.
It's not unfair if you're good. Just beat them.
I know, but this was the first time we've been good. We don't know what to do with it. Maybe our players are getting a little tired.
Still got a month to go.
I'm here for it. But anyway, I think that's the most I've ever had to contribute between talking to you guys and any sort of sports talk. So that was it.
Talk about the sports.
Yes. We got the ball. We did the sporting. We ran it. We kicked it. And we fucking won.
All right. So now that that's out the way, what next do we have on the agenda?
Nothing nearly as happy. Okay. So we have, just going in order, Biden and the Saudi Arabia OPEC situation. So basically, from my understanding of this, is Biden asked OPEC to delay their their oil decision for a month until after midterms.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm trying to grab the article. I'm not just trailing off and waiting on you to finish my thought for me.
So,
but they didn't.
Go ahead.
Oh, I said, but they didn't. Saudi Arabia said no. I
So
think
wait a minute, what exactly did he want Saudi Arabia to do or not do? Talking about Biden.
It was a decision that would influence if gas prices were going to go up.
So basically, he was saying, "Hey, keep them artificially low for me through the election."
Yes.
Which, I mean, I don't know. I'm getting fucking senile in my old age, but I feel like that this is at least a couple times a decade we hear these accusations being leveled at on some, you know what I'm saying? On some fucking election on a national level. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody asking a corporation to do them a favor. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Hey, don't do this yet. Do it after the election. Isn't this just business as usual? But it's as long as you don't do it in front of the camera, we're not going to do anything to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to read you first 2 paragraphs over here. The Biden administration asked Saudi Arabia, the de facto leader of oil production group OPEC, to delay its decision on oil output by a month, the kingdom said in a statement. The Saudis declined, and in early October, OPEC, which includes non-OPEC oil exporters like Russia, announced its largest supply cut since 2020 to the tune of 2 million barrels per day starting from November. That means tighter supplies and higher prices at the time of already high inflation and worries of global recession, which angers U.S. lawmakers who are now calling for a reevaluation of the relationships with the Saudi kingdom. Notably, the White House request would have delayed the decision until after the U.S. midterm elections.
So, how is that not influencing an election or trying to influence an election? That team seem pretty concerned with influence on our elections?
But I mean, is this obviously is what the fuck it is. What can you prove in court? That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, is it illegal to ask a favor from one political leader to another?
Depends on the favor.
I mean, like, it's sketchy as fuck as far as the timing, and we all know what the timing is, why he did it. We know.
It's just from the team that for the first 2 years of Trump's term was screaming, foreign influence on elections. It just kind of, isn't this kind of, what's the word I'm looking? Oh, hypocritical.
Right. And what I don't know that it's illegal necessarily, but then Biden is now saying that there will be consequences to their decision.
Yeah, well, what's that mean?
I know.
Well, I mean, hold on here, because he's fucking... Joe Biden is the gift that keeps on giving. If we had comedians that would actually have a ball sack and fucking go after him.
Yeah, remember when everyone made fun of the president?
But yeah, we only make fun of presidents who apparently aren't Democrats anymore.
Yeah.
At least like savagely make fun of him. How many times has he said something and someone from the White House or the press secretaries have been like, no, that is absolutely not what's going to happen. Like, I mean, so what does it matter what Biden says at this point? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be consequences. I'm waiting for someone to be at the White House to be like, there are absolutely not going to be consequences. The president misspoke. He didn't understand, blah, 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 blah. Whatever the fuck. Excuse. Swept under the rug. Now, here's the deal. Will anyone remember this in 2 years, let alone, or in a month, let alone 2 years from now? And will it matter? And with our short attention span and how little fanfare this entire story is getting as is right now, no, it ain't gonna fucking matter. And that's bullshit. Whether or not I like Trump, how long they beat that fucking Russia, the dossier bullshit. How many fucking years did we hear about that?
They're still talking about it. I saw something today about the Steele dossier.
God, they are like, them with Trump and that shit is like NPR and COVID. We don't care what the president says. The pandemic's not over. Okay, NPR, shut the fuck up and take your mask off. You're sitting in the studio by yourself, by the way, talking into a mic, wearing a mask.
The WHO the other day came out and said, yeah, the end's in sight. Like, what more do you need, NPR?
But did y'all see that Biden just re-signed the state of emergency?
Yes, for COVID? Because there's a new variant that this one is super resistant to mono blah, blah, blah treatments and this and this and this. And I'm like, okay, so what do we do? Get your booster shot. Fuck you. Yeah, okay. All right. I see what, yeah. You know what? I'll risk it.
Yeah, we're down to 1% mortality rate. Fuck off.
I'll risk it. I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I've lost probably about 40 pounds since I had COVID last time. I think I think my odds of surviving are even better now. So how about that?
We've never been above 1% death rate.
It got to, I think, like during the 2020, like the summer, it got to like 5% at one point.
That's whenever they were counting people who were in a freaking car wreck, but they swabbed their nose and they had COVID.
You died with COVID.
They came out and said that. They said if you died from anything, but they swabbed you, and that was common post-mortem, that you were going to be counted as your death being a COVID death.
I almost want to fucking compare it to something else, but that would completely jump from this topic to another topic. So I'll refrain. But yes. There was a lot of fuckery and fudging of numbers going on, and a whole lot of fucking double speak and shit, well, this person died with COVID. So many people have died with COVID. And it's like, okay, did they die because of COVID? Like,
right.
If I drop dead right now, why I'm talking, like in the middle of this sentence, just face over, and they do an autopsy, I mean, they're like, we found weed in the system. Does that mean weed killed me?
No.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that, like, this is a given. This is shit even like on the unregimented days, we were sitting there going, fuck off with this died with COVID. Did they die from COVID? Then fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Well, they tested positive for antibodies. So you don't even know if they really had it at the time they died. They could have had it, not even known they had it, which is a possibility. Mm-hmm. And they died some other reason, but we're just going to go ahead and put COVID. That sounds COVID? Yeah. COVID, that sounds good. Yeah, that'll get us funding.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, the actual like death rate now, people, from what I'm hearing and from what I am understanding, people are not dying of this any more than you would expect, like literally anyone to die of the common cold.
Well, we just had the biggest spike in, I think they said like 8 months here in Michigan in positive cases. And the biggest spike in deaths in that same period of time. And it was like, I want to say 1,200 positive cases, new positive cases in a day, or in a week, excuse me. And like 120 and some change deaths. Now, I'm not fucking whistling past the graveyard saying, oh, well, fucking 128 people, fuck them. I didn't know them. But, I mean, I don't wish death on you if I don't know you. I just don't care.
Well, the state's population, 10 million. Let's just crunch the numbers on that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And it's like, oh, this is a horrendous uptick. And I'm like, not really. And by the way, how many of those people would have probably died from pneumonia a couple of years ago also? You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're losing 120 some people a week to COVID or some variant, like, you probably, salt and sugar probably kicked your ass too, and you probably had one foot in the grave as it was.
For those of you doing the math at home, that's 0.001% of 10 million.
Right.
So.
We aren't even really testing people in Tennessee anymore.
I don't know where they're testing people here, except for I do find it funny, especially here on the east side, with it being the east side of Detroit for the uninitiated. The more time I spend here, the more I realize they built as they went. You know what I'm saying? Like as they built, they didn't plan out like, okay, this is for this and this is for this. And
they developed the east side as they went along, and they planned the west side.
Yeah, pretty much. And I forgot where I was going with that, so it doesn't matter. Anyways,
the testing.
Oh yeah, and now they have all these fucking permanent testing signs. Metro testing available here, and I'm like, that sign already looks like. That's like running around with a Romney 2012 fucking bumper sticker still.
Right.
Like, bro, you spent money on that signage. That's permanent. That is literally set in concrete on your building.
Mm-hmm.
COVID testing available here. Like, I just I'm just like, outside of those type of people, those type of places, who the fuck is testing for COVID?
Health departments.
I've literally heard of people like going to the doctor because, you know, it's getting cold outside. People are getting sick. Shit still goes around that isn't COVID. And the doctor doesn't even test them for COVID. They just say, you have something viral, go home and rest. And people are like shook by it. They're like, you don't want a COVID test? No. Why?
Because it's no big deal now. We learned to live with it, and it learned to live with us.
Anyway, how did we get on COVID? Oh, yeah, Biden
right.
And talking.
Yeah, we were talking about Biden asking OPEC to leave their oil output for another month.
Yeah.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? The New Jersey courts are hiring. Make a difference doing work that matters. With competitive salaries, pension, benefits, on-the-job training, partial remote work, and paid holidays. Apply now at njcourts.gov/careers.
Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino this year.
I was only playing for fun, so winning this was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's #1 social casino experience. It's serious fun. With over 80 casino-style games to choose from, you too could win life-changing amounts of cash. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and give them a whirl. That's ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void or prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of a winner.
Shopify presents cool sheets from AHA to
lying awake while you bake isn't cool. I suffered from the wrong kind of hot in bed, heat-induced insomnia. That was my aha moment. Bed sheets that keep you cool. Then I thought, how do I even sell bed sheets? That's when I had the idea that made it all possible, signing up on Shopify. With the help of Shopify's intuitive online store creator, I started selling sustainable bamboo sheets that keep cool year-round. And my cool idea became a reality. Hot sleepers around the world rejoice. Shopify makes it simple to keep your cool while starting and growing your business. Start selling with Shopify today and join the commerce platform powering millions of businesses worldwide. From AHA to anything is possible.
This is Possibility, powered by Shopify. Start selling online today. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/free22. Shopify.com/free22.
Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino this year.
I was only playing for fun, so winning this was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's #1 social casino experience. It's serious fun. With over 80 casino-style games to choose from, you too could win life-changing amounts of cash. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and give them a whirl. That's ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void or prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of a winner.
Wendy's new French toast sticks are so delicious, some are saying that they're better than their mom's breakfast.
Excuse me. Did you just say Wendy's new French toast sticks are better than my breakfast?
Mom, is that you?
Answer the question.
I said some people are saying that because they're so crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside and perfect in every way.
Uh-huh. And what do you think?
I think it's time to tell people to choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new sweet and crispy home-style French toast sticks.
That's still not an answer.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches,
urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Well, I mean, kind of on the subject of the upcoming midterms is the story that I shared in the group chat there about how like vast majority of Republican voters are like, yeah, we support abortion in case of incest and rape and blah 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 blah. And I'm just like last week you said that Tudor, whatever the fuck, whoever the fuck, that she's against it, like across the board, no exceptions. And I'm just like,
oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't know what just popped up.
Okay, but I'm just like, is this bitch trying to lose? Like,
well, she came out and she had a debate like the night we recorded and said there's an amendment up here for Nabala here in Michigan to pretty much make abortion rights part of the Constitution, and she said she'd accept the will of the people. Like this, I was telling someone the other day, like this, the Jesus Republicans, except for down south, are dead. Like there's this new breed Republican where country's first before God.
We used to talk about it when the quote unquote alt-right, before they were like demonized, before the Tiki Torch fucking march of, dozens of people that oh my God, fucking said us, white supremacists crawling on everybody's ass all of a sudden. I don't know, whatever. I just think the Republican Party needs to fucking pull its head out its ass and realize that they are not the Republican Party of Reagan anymore. They need to get off that shit.
Yeah.
Yes, you need to pander to your fucking base. But let's be honest here. Evangelical Christians aren't really going anywhere. The Democratic Party has nothing on their platform that any Southern Baptist that is a fucking devout and like that book is the exact fucking word of God, divinely inspired by God himself to a man, yes, a man, to write down those words.
This is my history book.
Like those people aren't like running the party anymore.
Yeah.
And the alt-right was like painted as like, this is horrible movement coming from the far right. And it's like, I think the biggest thing the alt-right did was come in and go, we are basically social libertarians. Live your life how you want. Just don't make fucking laws that say I can't say this. I have to say this. I don't worship how you want. Fuck who you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's mostly Republicans I know. Even the religious ones are mostly like, I don't give a fuck. Dude, it is 2022. Even if you don't have gay people in your family, you got a teenager who's claiming he's gay right now, or she's gay right now, or trans or something. It's everybody's been affected by this
I'll tell you,
shit.
like, you have gay people in your family.
Like, nobody
you just
cares.
don't know.
Well, yeah. But nobody gives a fuck anymore. It's the only time people give a fuck is when people get in other people's faces and go, I'm gay and I dare you to fucking give a fuck. And it's like, dude, of course. If I walk up to a complete stranger and I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm straight and I dare you to give a fuck. You tell me the same shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is such a losing fucking issue. I don't understand. And I'm sorry, but I don't trust any politician, political or really political party in America to not be dumbasses and dig their heels in and be like, well, we have to, the abortion is the subject we're going to die on. That's the hill we're going to die on.
All the polling in the last week is like abortion now is like last on the thing everybody cares about.
That's what I'm saying. This is, oh God, I was just listening to this podcast, Tuesday Night Main Event, Geeks and Gamers. It's their Tuesday night live stream. And they were talking about just like all the nonsense and shit. And hold up, let me see if I can pull it up. Give me a second. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, yeah, the conditions are ripe for fumbling at the goal line to happen, because a month ago, polling was saying Democrats, in general for the midterms had a 1 point lead over Republicans, and now last week, all of a sudden, Republicans are gaining steam. Republicans are gaining steam, and Democrats are losing steam at the quote unquote right times.
Okay, I'm not going to dig through it and find it. Long story short, they were talking about, and I mean, they're mostly like libertarian, center, or right wing on that live stream, and they were talking about this, and there's like Republican politicians that are still beating the, we need to ban video games, we need to ban rap lyrics and heavy metal songs. Dude, it is.
They got to be in Jess's neighborhood.
They have to. I'm just like, it is not 1984 anymore.
Because no, Republicans up here talk about jobs and the border and.
Well, I will say, Geeks and Gamers, I believe the owner of the company or network lives in Florida, so that would, you know what I'm saying? Like yeah. You're more likely to find that type of shit.
But Tudor's closing the gap. Like a couple weeks ago, it was all about how Whitmer's going to smash her, and now it's down to her leads down single digits.
Oh wow!
If Stretch and Gretchen gets back in, I swear to God, I don't know. I don't know. Like what the fuck is wrong with this state? Like if I was a Democrat, I'd be like, okay, this bitch, I don't care if she's the incumbent, get her out of here. Primary this hoe. We gotta get somebody else in here. You and your sloppy titties fucked everything up. Sorry, you gotta get out of here. Like, I mean, because and here's the deal. That was the logic they used against Trump. Trump fumbled the ball. Trump ain't a winner. He didn't want the ball when it was fucking go time and it was a goal line fucking, fourth and 1 or fourth and goal and shit. 1 second on the clock and COVID strikes and he fumbles the ball, so he's got to go. Okay, well, guess what, bitch? You and them 20-pound titties, you can go too.
You have something against her breasts.
It's all she's got. Like,
I'm telling you.
Sloppy ass titties.
I said, put the two of them next to each other. Your penis will make a choice, and it's voting Republican.
But I don't get it. Like she ran out once again, the uninitiated, not in Michigan. She ran at Michigan roads, some of the worst in the country, if not the worst in the country, and she ran on just fix the damn roads. That was literally her fucking slogan. She gets in. She basically installs the Nessel. What's her?
AG?
Attorney General, yes. We get weed legalized, and then what? Nothing
Right.
for almost a year and a half. COVID hit, and then she becomes a fucking national celebrity because of COVID, and Trump hates her. And meanwhile, almost 1 million people here in the state of Michigan are now on the hook to the state of Michigan because the state of Michigan printed up or on unemployment and COVID relief fund forms, printed shit up wrong. And they're like, yeah, that's our bad, but we're not going to do anything about it. You have to pay us back to the tune of like millions and millions of dollars in federal funds. Why are we paying it back to the state?
I think a judge stepped in and said, no, they don't. I think that they're still...
Is that probably why I haven't heard anything about it? Because I'm one of them?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, because I'm just like waiting in limbo here. But everything I'm saying, the road's not being fixed, dropping the ball with COVID, all the fuckery that happened with COVID.
You know what? Also, you're not allowed to ask her about, and what doesn't come up? Ask her about how nursing homes in Michigan handled COVID.
And can you believe they fucking ran what's-his-face out of New York over that shit?
Yeah.
And they're fucking protecting this bitch. You know why? Because she's a woman, and she's a Democrat, and she got traction and suction during 2020. So they think she's going to do something national.
And not to try to bring it back to sports, but she gave the coaches our guy. He's with us. You know, she last week she came out and said, if I'm elected, I'm serving my full term. I'm like, oh, you're running for president.
Oh, if there is a God,
she's been
please
rumored.
Let this bitch run for president.
She's been rumored to run for president. Like, she came out last week and gave the speech and said, oh, if I'm elected, I will serve all 4 years. I'm like, oh, bitch, you are 2024. See ya.
Yeah, that's no. Just because we haven't won a game this season and there's only one game left, we have all the faith in the world in our head coach.
Yeah,
that's why because you know what, you don't ever see the GM talking at the podium when the team's a dynasty. You only see the GM when he gets the statue at the end of the fucking last game.
Yeah.
That's it. When a GM comes to the podium for the post-game interview,
you've seen Bob Kraft at a press conference.
Yeah, when you see Bob Kraft at the podium, bye-bye. Yeah. Belichick going bye-bye.
Yeah.
But no, I want her to run because I want this bitch to take her bullshit to other parts of this country. Because she is insulated here by the fact. I've always thought we were a purple state.
We are.
But not nationally, we're considered a blue state. And I'm like, okay, but I know way more Republicans in this state than I know Democrats. I know people who just won't vote.
Well, I could give you election results while I've been alive that could prove we're a purple state.
Well, we kind of play ping pong with our governor, don't we?
Yeah.
Like, Democrat, Republican, almost all of our lives, 45 years for me.
Well, yeah, Gretchen replaced 8 years of Republican.
Who replaced a fucking
8 years of a Democrat.
Yeah. Who replaced
8 years of a Republican. Yeah. Who replaced a Democrat.
Yeah.
And then before that, I didn't exist. Because Blanchard was governor. There's term limits in Michigan governors because of Blanchard, because he was governor for like 12 years or some shit.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to see her take her shit to other parts of the country, especially down south. Go down south and talk that shit. Because up here she's insulated. Up here, like, what I mean by that is once the national media declared Michigan a blue state, this is like sanctuary for Democrats, as far as they're concerned. Now, whether that's reality or not doesn't matter. But, like, this isn't a hostile state. This isn't hostile ground. This isn't like she's running for governor in Texas and she's like, well, hopefully Austin can carry the state. No, honey. It don't work that way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but if you think about it, all she really has to do is just go like Detroit, Flint, Grand Rapids, Ann Arbor. Detroit, Flint, Grand Rapids, Ann Arbor. Just keep campaigning there, you'll win, right? Isn't that where most of the people live?
No, I'm talking about her running for fucking national office. I didn't even think about this, dude. She's perfect to replace fucking Harris.
Yeah.
She's perfect. The party's in love with her. The Democratic National Committee's in love with her. She's got fucking, like I said, she's got traction and suction nationally from the COVID shit. And Harris is a huge ink spot on an already spotty fucking resume with Biden. So
how's that affirmative action appointee going for you?
Well, it's not just that, but what does the bitch say that makes anything better?
Right.
Like it's real simple. Like the older I get, the more I simplify and as I've been accused of become reductionist about shit and just be like, helping or hurting?
Yeah.
First question. And guess what? If it's hurting, we're done. What are we wasting our time for? What has she done that helped anybody? I'm waiting. Let's go. She didn't legalize weed in the state. We did that, the voters. We voted on it. She didn't do it.
Yeah.
Her attorney general,
she is nuts.
Okay. The trial of the domestic terrorists that were going to kidnap her, that turns out the FBI was like, yeah, pretty much we did all the legwork and then just arrested him for it. How please take that shit down south where the militias are at. Please go talk that shit to motherfuckers who don't give a fuck about you. You're not protected because you're not in Michigan. You're going to find out real quick, bitch, that shit don't fly in red states or quote unquote real purple states, because we're not one according to her. So, yeah. But yeah, I didn't even think about that. She is perfect to replace Harris. Just bottom line, I think she's more competent than Harris.
Yeah.
But that is not saying. That's like still being the smartest kid with Down syndrome. You're still retarded. You're just really smart for a retard. You know what I'm saying?
Harris came out the other day and people shouldn't be in jail for some weed. I was like, oh, really?
Really, bitch?
Yeah.
How many hundreds of thousands of people did she oversee the convictions of?
Yeah.
Personally stand in court and send how many fucking people to fucking multiple decade sentences and request the harshest sentence possible? No, not mandatory federal minimum. More than that.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that cunt. Stinking pussy bitch. Yeah, I'm a fan.
It shows.
No, because this is one of those things, it's one of those subjects that, like, people cringe at, but it's true. Like, the war on drugs disproportionately affected certain groups of people, and yes, among them were, as they say these days, POCs, which she claims to be one. We haven't figured out exactly what she is yet, because she's whatever we need her to be, according to the Democrats. She's Indian 1 minute, she's black the next minute, she's Caribbean the next minute, she's whatever the fuck they need her to be.
Blindian,
yeah. She's Puerto Rican. She's Blackanese, yeah, whatever the fuck, yeah. Chi-Negro, I don't know. But yeah, like I mean, I'm thinking of like Gretchen, get stretching Gretchen in there. She's got the right outlook on weed. You have Biden just fucking did the federal shit, which, by the way, I just want to say real quick, how many motherfuckers are doing hard federal time for simple possession?
Yeah. Okay, so that's under an ounce, right?
Yeah, because anything, I think federal, I think it's a half ounce. It used to be a half ounce, or the half ounce broke up into separate bags was intent to distribute.
I think he said low level when he made his declaration.
But you had to, for it to be federal, you had to cross state lines, and that's where that's why they would get involved. But even then, it's like, but what's low level? What's a low level federal drug possession?
Right.
Like if you're crossing state lines, like, okay, so you cross state lines with an ounce of weed and you got federal time. That means you've probably been in for, I'm going to say, go at least 30 years going on it, at least. Like that's 80s, 90s mandatory crackdown on crime minimums. That shit was done by the time the mid to late 90s started. They got rid of that. They were like, oh shit, we're throwing motherfuckers in jail for life for a hit of acid because they're weighing the paper. And they're saying that's attempted murder. And he's like, but no, it's the paper weighs. I don't have that much weight in acid that I'm trying to sell. I would kill people. Yes, I understand. You're weighing the paper. And they're like, we don't care. We're the federal government. Fuck you. We invent the rules.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, she passes the smell test. She's got the right outlook on that. She could step in and definitely project a lot more confidence to the base than I believe Harris would if Biden needs to, be, put out to pasture and like, okay, Grandpa, go watch Murder, She Wrote. We got this. Thanks for doing your part. We'll see you at Thanksgiving. I mean, it just makes sense. So that's a terrifying fucking thought.
She's anti-Trump because she got in her little skirmish with him. Remember that woman from Michigan?
A nasty woman in Michigan. And I'm the nasty woman in Michigan. And like, Jess, I don't know if you ever saw this, but when she was when we were like locked down and she was doing the remote interviews, she would do one from her office in her home, and she has a framed poster of herself that says Big Gretch on it. And I'm like, you know what this bitch is? She's a dumb jock.
Yeah.
This is like every dumb jock friend this is the female equivalent of Earl with smaller tits.
I like how you just said smaller.
So
my favorite part.
I mean, both would be accurate.
But I mean, yeah, I'm like, bitch, you are a grown ass woman with a framed poster of yourself doing interviews, completely proud of it, like it's cool.
You know, she made her husband call her that. That's call me Big Gretch. That's right. Call me Big Gretch, bitch.
Or Big Gretch is what she pulls out when it's his time to come here. I told you not to take the boat to the dock.
You know that's nickname. That's what she calls her vag now, right?
No, that's what she calls the big strap
Gretch.
on that she fucks him with when she's pegging him. I'm telling you, no. That's okay. I've known a few women with scorching cases of fucking penis envy. I can spot that shit a mile away. That bitch wants a dick. And that bitch wants a fucking mandingo dick. Like a big fucking 15-inch Jonah Falcon. The fuck are you going to do with that dick? So, yeah. That's our governor. Anyways. All right. Anything more about Gretchen and her penis envy?
Yeah. Anything more about our governor's vagina?
I don't know your governor, so no, not on my end.
Well, good for you. Keep it that way if you can. Like I said, if she's dumb enough to run for president, which if she tries to go, like if she really wants the vice president, she has to do a presidential run, right? Like that's a prerequisite almost, right?
Well, I know she actually had like a high-ranking position in Biden's campaign. That's like you saying her for vice president. That makes even more sense. Of like, I plan on finishing my. Nope, I plan on being Biden's running mate in 2024. See,
yeah. So, well, anyways, do we want to stay in the realm of politics? Because I know we have a few other subjects that are along those lines.
Well, let's see. You want to move into, the most political thing we have really is Kanye and George Floyd's daughter.
Well, I mean, I was thinking the Kanye stuff. And I mean, that's miserable. That whole fucking situation's miserable with politics. That's all that situation is a political situation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. That is reductionist of me. It's more than that, but I think it's a what do you call it? Oh shit, brain fart. Bipolar people. I think it's a manic episode. I think he's
manic depressive.
Yes,
I mean he's not supposed to say that anymore.
Well, it's bipolar, whatever the fuck they call. I guess you're not supposed to call it bipolar either.
A borderline personality disorder now. Isn't that what it's called?
Yes,
but
I think so.
BDP is okay. And I'm sure, and this is why I don't give a fuck about psychology hardly anymore. At least this fucking head up your ass academia side of it bullshit. There's no reason to change anything. He seems like he's in a manic state half the time. Speaking of Kanye West, when he does this shit, and I think this was one of those things. For the uninitiated, let's set it up. Like when Trump was in office, he met with Trump. That started shit. He would wear MAGA hats. That started shit. He wore the White Lives Matter shirt and showed up at some fashion event with Candace Owens of all people. That's going to start shit. Because, God knows the most conservative people on earth are at a high fashion show.
I think it was a fashion release of his.
It still doesn't matter. It's the modeling community. That's a very twisted fucking community. I've had the unfortunate displeasure of dealing with a few times. There's some very fucking strange people, is all I'm going to say. I'm not gay. I just like to suck cock. Bro, that's gay.
Yeah.
I hate to break. I'm enlightened. That's bi. At the least.
Yeah, you're at least bisexual, dude.
So, yeah. No, I'm not. I'm like, okay, the accent don't help either.
I'm a straight man. You know how many cocks I've sucked? None.
Yeah. But,
bigots.
Right. How dare us?
Yeah, I know, right? Suck. Yeah, well, that's a different story.
Suck Big Gretchen.
I identify as a woman now. Now get down here and suck your wife's dick. Oh. Hey, thank you, Sally. I'm gonna say it. Like trans activists being like, you have to have sex with a trans person if you're not a trans person and they're fucking blah blah blah, or else that's transphobic. That's prison rapey.
Yeah.
That's straight up prison rapey. That's like, I like you and I want you. We can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. But I'm gonna have you. It's like, bro, that's no. You know what I'm saying? Like, we throw people like that in prison for a reason.
Two straight people can't say that to each other.
Exactly. But anyways, I digress. Which led to this apparent interview he gave that will probably never see the light of day, or if it does, it's going to be heavily edited to make him look bad and make LeBron look good for LeBron's HBO talk show, The Barbershop.
The Shop.
Oh, The Shop. Okay. And I mean, like I said, the only thing I've heard of this week that has really been anything like a continuation of what we talked about him last week is apparently he gave another thing about like the Black Israelites, like an interview about the Black Israelites. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, oh, it's anti-Semitic. And I'm like, all right, well, that's it. That's all, you know what I'm saying? So like, what has he done now? Because that's all I've heard is that he, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just laid out all his crimes for the recent crimes for the last couple of years. What has he done now that has got people so pissed? I have no idea. I'm genuinely asking this question. I'm not trying to be an asshole.
He said George Floyd died from a fentanyl overdose.
And this is putting George Floyd's child in physical harm. How?
It's creating an unsafe environment for her.
Yes.
Okay, then maybe Child Protective Services should come in, because it sounds like her guardians can't provide a safe environment for her. I mean, that's my guess. Really? That's what you're telling me, right?
Yeah, I believe harassment. Yeah, what is it? Harassment, provide an unsafe environment, defamation. Which the defamation part we've thrown out. You can't defame a dead person. But this is a money grab. You can't say something like this when it comes to George Floyd. But I mean, Kanye will just write a check and this will go away.
I don't know if he will. He's pretty big on making stands for things.
I don't even think it's really about making a stand. I think this is more about just, I don't take the view that like he's being punished, you know what I'm saying, by this lawsuit. But like, I think we all know that if you speak out against certain things and you're a celebrity and you gotta, I mean, Kanye's a billionaire.
Oh,
I didn't realize that until they like broke down his finances on a podcast I listened to this week. He's like, I don't know, he ain't liquid $1 billion, but on paper, he's got it like that.
Notice through all this, Adidas is still selling Yeezys because apparently Yeezys are 10% of what Adidas's revenue. Like that's.
Shit.
Yeah, like they put out a news story, I guess, a couple weeks ago that they're like reevaluating their relationship. Yeah, that's just a fucking that's the piece of chum to the woke sharks, right? Here you go, eat this. They ain't getting rid of. If they stop selling Yeezys, they'll get fucking rid of him. But until then,
well, to me, it's just he's going to end up in the crosshairs because I mean, I guess you could describe him as an iconoclast, but. He's definitely bucked the approved train of thought that most of Hollywood, music industry, and the arts.
Oh, and let's be honest.
The drum they march to, at least.
And his community, let's be honest. He's also black. There's also a specific marching order you're supposed to do, you're supposed to have as well. Like, how many black conservatives can you name? Go.
Candace Owens.
Yeah.
Thomas Sowell.
Herschel Walker.
It's still weird to me that he's a politician. I'm just like, why are we talking about a running back when we're talking about?
Yeah, right. Let's talk about how many yards after fucking.
Because no offense to Herschel Walker, but even when he was playing during interviews, I was never like, yo, that homeboy's going into politics. He's
right?
So smart. Yeah. It's Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
But anyways, my point with the Kanye shit is that I think this is. after that Alex Jones, Sandy Hook lawsuit and verdict, I think that you're going to have you can't really call them ambulance chasers, but those type of lawyers are going to be like, whether it's real or imagined or just a facade they're selling to their potential clients, they're going to use it as, we can go after people for talking shit about dead people and, for questioning the blah, 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 and for hurting your feelings. And here's the precedent. Look what Alex Jones, he got hit with $1 billion fucking settlement, blah, blah, blah,
but
blah,
he
blah.
Alex Jones, he went after the parents. That's why he got.
I understand, but you got to.
He went after alive people.
We're talking about amoral lawyers.
Yeah.
Trying to talk people into.
It's true.
Yeah. I mean, come on now.
That's a good point.
So, I mean, it's going to be used as a business card of sorts, I guess, is the way to put it. Term I'm looking for. Like, hey, we got it. Alex Jones, we stuck it to him. Floyd Rose. Every guitar player in the audience just laughed. Everybody else is like, who the fuck is Floyd Rose?
Yeah. Guitar players are laughing their balls off right
now. George Floyd, hey, his family, hey, blah, 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 blah. Once again, I'm going back to, you're making a claim that her safety is in danger, her physical safety. Prove it. I want receipts. I want ring cam footage of people trying to come into the house against your fucking will and harm her because of what he said.
Now, as the kids say, or probably used to say, if I'm saying it, don't get it twisted. I believe this girl deserves some money, and she got it from the Minneapolis PD because her father was murdered. Like that, wrongful death, yes. Murder, yes. She deserved a big check, and she got it from the Minneapolis PD. But for this, no.
Well, one of the things that I never even realized is, just for full disclosure here, probably like a week or two after George Floyd had died, was killed, whatever, I ran across online the uncut body cam footage, like 45 minutes, not chopped up. I watched the whole fucking thing.
Oh yeah, I've seen it too.
Like I sat for 45 minutes and watched it.
There was definitely a point where those officers, there's a point where I was like, all right, what are you doing? He's subdued.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at him going, you can't tell he's either high or having a psychotic break or having a psychotic break brought on by narcotics. I'm looking at him. I'm not a police officer. I'm sure I'm a former professional musician. I've dealt with a lot of drug addicts. I could tell by looking at George Floyd, he was off his rocker high. But so what the fuck was that cop thinking is what Chauvin. And I just don't understand.
I guess, again, just take all that off the table. Just say, you get to a point where he's subdued. What are you doing?
Now, the one thing I will say is that the podcast I was listening to it's not a regular one that I listened to, so I can't remember the name of it, that was talking about Kanye West. They actually played from the Derek Chauvin trial, the coroner's testimony. And I never heard this. Or if I did, they completely spun it a different way and chopped it up and edited it. But basically, the defense attorney was like, did George Floyd have fentanyl in the system? And he's like, yes. How much fentanyl do you have in the system? He's like, if it's considered a fatal dose. It's like, okay, so he has it. He had a fatal dose of fentanyl in his system. That didn't play a part of his death. And the coroner goes, if he hadn't have died from Officer Chauvin's knee on his neck, but he still died, I would put it down as a fentanyl overdose. That's not murder. That's manslaughter. Now, I'm not saying he shouldn't be in prison, but he damn sure shouldn't have had the fucking conviction that he had. How the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So
remember, if it doesn't go along with the story,
but that's
gets left out.
I don't give a fuck what anybody's opinion is about this shit. Nobody's opinion means shit. That was in a court of law. There's video, there's transcript, and it's now a closed case that's done and over with, which means every single piece of fucking information that's not a private fucking law firm is available to the public. There's no way that they can go, that never happened. So all they're doing is just going, no one cares. And this is what this podcast pointed out. They're like, this is testimony that it's not hidden. Did you hear about it?
No.
And they played the fucking clip. And I'm like, this isn't hearsay. I'm not listening to them talk about something they heard or overheard someone say they saw. They played the fucking court, the audio from the court. And I'm like, So you add all this up together, and this is what I come to. What the fuck are they going after him for? What did he say that is factually wrong, according to the fucking prosecution's own witness, the coroner?
I mean, I just think in this case there was blood, and the prosecution was going to get it.
Oh no, I figured
the country wanted blood, and
I figured he was doing like the most you could do for manslaughter, probably a couple civil rights violations to throw, so it's federal, which is 80% time. You know, I mean, I figured they were going to do all that shit. When they hit, I think he got a murder 1 conviction. I'm like, that's premeditated.
Yeah, they gave him
that means I woke up
and I'm going to kill George Floyd.
Yeah, like murder 1 is not like it's a murder. Charge him with murder 1. You hear that in the movies and TV a lot. That's not a fucking common crime. Most people are like murders are crimes of passion or manslaughter or fuckery that got out of hand or something. It's not. Woke up and you know what? It's a good day. And I'm going to kill my fucking wife. That's not how most people fucking operate.
Yeah.
And I look, fuck Derek Chauvin. I don't know this motherfucker from anybody. I don't give a fuck. And believe me, if he pulled me over, you think he's going to get... He didn't strike me like type of cop's going to give you a break. He seems like the type of motherfucker that'd write his mother if he pulled that bitch over. So I really, I don't give a fuck. But I do care about justice being done. And I know that that's a joke and somehow that's cringy to say. But I think it's cringy that you think it's cringy to say that if you're thinking that. So, but it's bullshit. Like, that is absolute bullshit. And as far as Kanye West, what did he say that is not true? Unless that is a deep fake that I heard on that podcast, that audio.
Well, the cause of death was him being asphyxiated. It wasn't the overdose. So
he would have died anyways, is what the coroner said. Which is like, aren't we splitting hairs at this point? I mean, like I said, that's not murder 1, man. That's the bottom line. Throw him in jail for manslaughter for a couple decades, sure. But murder 1? And
did they get him with first degree? I thought he got second degree murder.
They charged him with first degree. Well, they charged, first of all, didn't they charge him with like 2 counts of murder and 1 count of manslaughter? Something stupid?
Let's see.
Chris is pulling out his phone, so we're seeing here. Long story short, my concern is this is setting a precedent. And once again, like I said, here come the amoral, shady, cocksucking lawyers to try to cash in on this shit and further fucking, jam this shit, push this, oh, someone talked something about someone in your family who died, who was a media figure. We'll go after him. Really? Because that's what we need in this country, right? More useless, frivolous lawsuits.
Unintentional second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter.
How the fuck?
3 charges for 1 dude?
Okay. I mean,
that's excessive, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that's kind of what they do anyways. There's another story we got this week about how they charge people that we'll get into later. But yeah, I mean, let's just call it what it is. OJ walked because basically a predominantly black jury was like, yeah, historically, yeah, black people have fucking been wrongly convicted, so we're going to let him walk. And I'm like, okay, that's bullshit. And it's bullshit to convict this guy on this. Convict him. Second degree? Well, second degree murder. What is second degree murder exactly? That's not premeditated. That's
It's not an accident, but it was in the moment.
And third degree is like reckless homicide.
Yes.
Okay.
From my understanding.
Manslaughter was, I didn't mean to kill him, but he's still dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
manslaughter is like a DUI.
Guys, I just described the 3 charges he was convicted on. Don't they seem to contradict each other? Pick
that.
one.
Yes.
I mean, I don't see what's so hard about this. I mean, I don't know. And honestly, Kanye's not going to get a break. He bought Parler this week. So
right.
That's
Oh no, I didn't know that.
For whatever fucking good or ill that is, he's now being oh well, he's just completely right wing, far right, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, all right, yes, I get it. Any social media alternative that isn't controlled by big tech who you got in your back pocket, yeah, that's white supremacist adjacent. I get it. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. But I just don't see this lawsuit really doing anything. But I kind of agree with Jess. I think Kanye's got enough money to be like, fuck you, I can fight it in court just to do it.
True.
Kind of. Let's be honest. kind of a Trump move to do that. You want to take me? Let's go to court then.
Kanye does have fuck me money. Like, that's better than fuck you money. That's another level. Like, I got so much money. Yeah. Fuck me. I can fuck me.
I think in that podcast, the only hip-hop mogul worth more than him right now is Jay-Z, and I'm pretty much thinking that that's a combined between him and Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Like, combined, they're worth more than Kanye.
Yeah, well, one thing I learned about Kanye, and I know this still holds up, is they tried to go after the Grammys, for not being diverse a few years ago. Kanye, this is a little known fact about Kanye. He is the artist that holds the most Grammys ever. Like, Kanye has won so many fucking Grammys because he's a producer. Everyone forgets that first. Before he was a performer, he was a producer. And he's still a producer.
Honestly, I mean, he's got some songs that he performs on that are all right. But I think he's a better producer than he is a fucking MC. But that's just me. That's just me. I mean, once again, I think that, you got Rakim, you got you got Mount Rushmore of old school hip hop, like the MCs. He's not on there, but he is on the Mount Rushmore producers with like Beats. Dre and and Timbaland,
and Swizz Beats.
Would you put Puffy up there?
No, for Beats.
But hear me out. Here's my argument. Whether or not they're samples, he did fucking produce a ton of hits. And if that is the only criteria...
But he didn't keep doing it.
That's true. Which makes me...
Everyone we talked about kept doing it.
Well, yeah. I mean, Swizz Beats to the point where you don't even fucking know where to... I don't even know what the fuck he's done, but that motherfucker's probably still working right now. He's probably turning work down.
All of Jay-Z's back catalog.
No, I'm talking about like right now what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like... That's like Daft Punk when they like retired. What are they going to do? Whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
Man. Like those guys are fucking what once again, we might as well name the show For the Uninitiated. The music business, the money, unless you are like Bruce Springsteen, ain't in performing. It's behind the scenes. And producers, that's why go look at writing credits on a lot of pop songs today. And be like, why are there like 20 fucking people credited on this? Half of them are producers, 8 of them are songwriters, 2 of them are people in the band or group. There's your writers. Because everybody wants a cut. That's how it's all.
That's how I get paid now.
Yup. Put my name on that shit. That way I get a check.
Yeah.
That's it. That's literally it. So
Beyonce is only worth $500 million, and Jay-Z is worth $1.3 billion.
Yeah, he is.
So there you go. Yeah. Which makes sense because, I mean, even in those like hip hop, fuck, that ain't even hip hop. Even in the mogul circles like that, Kanye and Jay-Z they've been fucking working together and touring and, releasing songs and.
Oh, there's been beef with them for a while.
Oh, are they beefing now?
Oh, yeah.
I can't keep up with. That's the other thing. Like, Kanye's beefing with somebody. And it's a day that ends in Y.
Yeah, it's been a long time since N-Words in Paris. There's been beef since then. That's the last song they did together.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Fuck. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we're old.
No, I knew when we were passing around trying to read something, and it's like, no one's got their reading glasses? Oh, shit. Yeah. Well, hold on here. But ultimately, I mean, any final thoughts? Because, like I said, I think this is just fucking a lawyer trying to make his bones, get his name out there, and hopefully catch a fucking settlement and line his pockets that way. That's what I think's going on. I don't think this is really...
Kanye will write a check, just have to sell some more Yeezys.
And I still think he's not going to do that. I think he'll fight it just because he can. So we'll report back whenever this happens.
I mean, if I had the money, I would. If I had his type of money and someone come out saying that dumb shit, I'd be like, who's your lawyer? Hope he's working pro bono. Because if not, I'm going to put you in the poorhouse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, here, I have $1 billion. Here's $100 million I set aside just to fuck with you and your lawyer.
Right.
Do you have that? Maybe you should back her down. You know what I'm saying? But, all right. Well, anyways, what else we got here?
Well, Do we want to go the way?
By the way, Kanye West has $2 billion.
Yeah.
Oh, they underestimated him. Damn. They were hating on that podcast. They were hating on Kanye. That's the pod. It's the Haters Ball podcast.
Hate. The next motherfucker that talks is getting shot.
Please believe that. Now, if you excuse me, I gotta go refill Dag Nasty's mama's water bowl.
Hey man, why you gotta have a nice car? Why you gotta have something?
I hope everything in the world bad happens to you and only you.
Yeah.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches,
Urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com. Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches,
Urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com. Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches,
Urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com. Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches,
Urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Let's keep pretending that we're lawyers, and we'll talk about Ezra Miller pleading not guilty to burglary charges.
All right.
Okay. Well, this was like Yeah, hold on. Let me pull up this article. Because didn't they charge him with, like, home invasion, all this other shit? Blah, 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 blah. Basically, long story short, this, because let's just get to the fucking, the sensationalism of the fucking story. The charges, if he's convicted and sentenced to the maximum, he's looking at like 26 years, which pretty much everybody is saying is not going to happen. And I just realized, I know you said Ezra Miller, but just in case, Ezra Miller, I'm trying to think of his biggest movies. The Flash, he's playing The Flash. He played The Flash in a couple DC movies. He was in the Stand miniseries that came out during COVID. He was in Perks of Being a Wallflower, if you're into the indie movie shit. Yeah. Long story short, he's they.
Oh.
Yes. I fucking. They are a
canceled.
They. I don't do they.
Good for you.
He's, he's, a protected class because he declared himself a non-binary person, and he's been doing just insane shit. Basically, he's been accused of kidnapping, grooming, and keeping a harem and cult-like group of underage or barely legal women on a compound, along with like slapping and beating people in bars randomly over like dart games and shit.
He's a they, but he's only into chicks, huh? Huh. Interesting.
But yeah, so he gets charged, and let's see here. Why is this not? No, please go slower. And I know it's not the internet, not in this house. No, seriously, this is like fucking industrial speed internet in this house.
Damn right.
It's this tablet. Into an occupied home, petty larceny. Both charged. Okay, yeah. So burglary into an occupied home, that's home invasion. It's just a fancier way of saying it. Why do we keep changing these terms? They work fine. Anyways, what's interesting about this is that one, this is Vermont. From what I gather, Vermont is pretty much like looks the other way as far as a lot of the, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not a state that's going to be like, he's a alphabet person, let's go after him. I don't get that feeling. So I think that's off the table because that's coming eventually. Is that like, he's being persecuted because he's a non-binary person?
When I used to go to New England, the vibe that I got from like the whole Vermont, New Hampshire area. Vermont's the liberal one. New Hampshire's the Republican one.
Okay,
the conservative one.
So yeah, so I mean, like, I don't really see anything like that, but I that's coming eventually. His legal team will whip that card out. They have to. Let's just be honest here. His lawyer said Ezra Miller this morning pled not guilty to one count of burglary and one count of petty larceny in Vermont Superior Court, accepted the court-imposed conditions of not contacting or entering the home of the inhabitants. Ezra would like to acknowledge the love and support they have received from their family and friends who continue to be a vital presence in their ongoing mental health, said his attorney.
Oh, two shields in the same sentence. They and mental health.
The Vermont charges were just a couple of the controversies and legal actions facing Miller in recent months. The actor was arrested in Hawaii twice within 1 month's time. First for disorderly conduct and harassment, and then for second-degree assault less than 4 weeks later. That's when he was slapping and beating the chick on cell phone cam in the bar. I believe the disorderly conduct was the karaoke. One was a karaoke incident, and supposedly one was something to do with darts.
Dude, if he was...
Long story short, he needs to stay the fuck out of bars, it sounds like.
If he was a POC, alphabet person, and fucking... what's the third? Mental health. Like, all charges will be dropped. I mean, we talk about this. Be like, the Flash opens next week.
Mental health that's coming. You just leapfrogged on.
No, you said it in the sentence.
No, I know, but I mean, like for real, like that. I think Warner Brothers has said that he has to go to like get mental health treatment. You know what I'm saying? Blah blah blah. That's their damage control. But we'll get to that. Okay, so yeah, so the second, so he had he had a disorderly conduct and a second assault charge in less than 4 weeks. He pled guilty to the assault charge, paid a $500 fine, $30 in court costs. The harassment charge was dismissed. Miller is also accused of choking one woman in an Icelandic bar and harassing another in her home in Berlin. Okay, let's just stop right here. He's beating the shit out of people in bars to the point where he's choked one woman in a foreign country, and he's had 2 fucking assault type charges in less than 4 weeks.
I hear an alcohol problem.
He's been charged with home invasion, and he went into a woman's home in Berlin and harassed her. Just saying, kind of sounds like a little fucking unhinged, and possibly don't care if you're a really fucking talented actor. Dude, get the fuck off the streets, bro. Like, I don't hit rehab something. I don't know what to fucking tell him, but this is just nuts. Like, I'm thinking, obviously, he's a celebrity. He's going to get, that's going to give him more leniency, etc. as far as they're going to take it easier on him. But, like, take away all his, like, the celebrity shit. I don't care even if he was still talking all his mental health. They, them is my pronouns. I'm non-binary. I think he'd already be under the fucking jail. Mm-hmm. This would be a done fucking case. And Warner Brothers, which, if you've been listening to the last couple of weeks, Warner Brothers as a company has had a complete fucking changeover at the top, and like a house cleaning of executives and stuff. They're still going with his movie, and the rumors are supposedly there's a finished script sitting, waiting. That was waiting, and they are like, go ahead and go into production, pre-production on it for a movie that hasn't even come out that supposedly has cost Warner Brothers $200 million, starring Ezra Miller, basically as the linchpin, the Tony Stark Iron Man of the DC Comics universe.
Is that the movie budget or the legal budget?
Well, at this point, it's like you would have to budget in all his legal bullshit into the budget of the movie, right? I mean, it's kind of like back in the day, if you hired Jack Nicholson, you're not filming when the Lakers are in the fucking playoffs. You know what I'm saying? That was in his contract.
Remember how Robert Downey Jr. for a while couldn't get work because couldn't get insurance?
Oh, yeah.
People were like, oh, no, he's in your movie? Yeah, well, here's your new insurance rate.
Well, anyways, long story short, when it comes to this with Miller, this is just an ongoing fucking saga of just this is a train wreck we're watching in real time, almost like slow motion in real time, if that makes sense. I mean, and like I said, I just find it amazing because we have just came out of a decade of we're looking, hundreds of years back and holding people responsible for shit that happened hundreds of years ago. We're holding people today responsible for it, and we had the reckoning with Me Too and hashtag Me Too and the Me Too movement and all this bullshit, all these things, and he's out here doing all this shit that if he wasn't part of the Alphabet Mafia, he would absolutely be ostracized and blacklisted in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I know this is well-worn carpet, but I just can't get over this. This isn't even fucking hidden anymore, man. Like, this is just like blatant. It's just like, oh, okay. So you think right. You're not guilty of wrong think.
Here's your shield.
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
So, it's just something I'm going to keep an eye on just because I'm sure at some point it's going to, I doubt it's going to end up in court. I really don't think he's going to end up doing time. I think one of the YouTubers I watch, he's a legal expert. He said he thinks he'll end up with like 5-figure fine and maybe like 2 years probation, suspended sentence type shit. And it's like, we all know what that means. He's got a compound. He has his own fucking Waco compound. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just going to go there and do what he does. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, ain't shit going to change, but I mean, and by the way, I'd just like to point out that they sent tanks into Waco because they thought that, well, they're hoarding guns and they're doing things with children, even though we had no proof of it. There's actually some of these underage people that Ezra Miller is, quote unquote, taking care of and being like Batman to their Robin, like they're his ward or something. He's doing, like, they're going, no, like here's the text here's the text. Here's the fucking emails. Here's this. He's talking sexual shit with like 12, 13, 14-year-old girls. We're her family. And it's not just Hollywood. Where the fuck is law enforcement on this?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, Rich, why are you upset? If you're asking that question, turn the fucking show off. It's not for you. I shouldn't have to explain why I'm upset that a grown man can pull this shit with children with almost fucking impunity and flaunt it on fucking Main Street.
Isn't it? It's becoming so tired of hearing about stuff like this, but as long as you associate yourself with the right groups, then you get passes. You know?
Well, the other thing, too, don't forget, he's got the money for the lawyers for all this shit, too. That's the other...
Well, he doesn't have as much money as either he claimed or his people claimed. But he's got enough to fight it.
As long as he's still in those Flash movies, he's got...
Oh, no. He's got enough to, he's not going to have a public defender.
He's got the Warner Brothers legal team behind him.
Yeah,
but he's worth $4 million.
Well, I mean, and once again, this is just...
but even without Warner Brothers, he ain't calling Sam.
When
he's calling someone you've never heard of.
It's pretty common when the times get rough with anybody who's a celebrity or in Hollywood. When they go to do their, like, how much are you worth? Boy, they start trying to claim poverty as quick as possible. Anne Heche was worth less than $500,000 when she died. That's what they appraised her estate at. I highly doubt that's all she was worth. I think that's probably for tax purposes. So if he's claiming $4 million, he's probably got access to more money than that. But even then, I know motherfuckers who fight 25, you're looking at 25 years who fought fought charges, beat them in court, and their family probably never filed more than $50,000 on a tax fucking return in any year. So, I mean, $4 million, I'm not going to cry for him for fucking what he's going to spend.
Yeah.
And on top of it, I think you're right. Since Warner Brothers is sticking by him, which is absolutely ridiculous considering that the new Rock movie coming out, he's a villain in the DC, an anti-hero, whatever, in the DC universe. He begged Warner Brothers. The Rock, one of the 3 most profitable movie stars right now in the world, had to beg them to put Henry Cavill as Superman in the movie. You know what I'm saying? It's Warner Brothers is like, we can't fuck this up. They're like, we don't know. Do you think people will like Superman in a movie? Motherfucker. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And why does The Rock have to be like, once again, I'm not a woman and I'm not gay, but Henry Cavill, a lot of women think he's really hot. A lot of dudes like him as when he played Superman in the Superman movies and in whatever the character in the Witcher series is. Seems like a fucking home run to me. Why is The Rock begging Warner Brothers? Like, please put him in this movie. So, I mean, they got a history of making bad decisions when it comes to their movie stars and their fucking comic book division.
The reviews on Black Adam are not great.
But it's still the second highest reviewed DC comic movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sad part. And it's not even cracking 60% approval.
The other thing that I would say, if the critics hate it, it means it'd be probably great.
It's probably a good popcorn movie that doesn't push the message, proper noun status in full effect. So, yeah. And that's probably why it's like, that's another part of the problem with this shit is that you're dealing with people in Hollywood who are completely stuck in their own world. If you've ever dealt with anyone who's lived in L.A. or if you've ever been out in L.A. and spent some time there or around Hollywood people or music industry people, you know what I'm about to say is very true. There's a type of person that when you're in front of them, you're the greatest person in the world. We love you, your band, your sound, your tone, you're great, your phrasing. I swear to God, I haven't heard a guitar player that made my hair stand on end like that in years. And the minute that you're not standing in front of them, they can't remember your fucking name.
Mm-hmm.
And that is everyone they meet. So, yeah, sorry, got off of my Hollywood rant. Anyways, let's move on.
All right, moving on to the Todd Bowles clip.
Todd Bowles.
Sorry, bad handwriting.
Todd Bowles. Should we play it?
Yes.
Stand by. God damn it. So I rarely use Facebook on desktop, so every time I use it, I'm like, how do I navigate this? Where is everything?
Well, they also change it literally all the time.
Yeah, where's my messenger? Oh, it's up here. There we go. And... All right. So to set this up, at what's the press conference this Sunday, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this is just a post-game press conference, and the coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Todd Bowles, is asked, well, I mean, you heard the questions he's asked.
You and Mike Tomlin are two of the few black head coaches in the league. I wonder what your relationship is like with them and your thoughts on Steve Wilks joining that fold.
I have a very good relationship with Tomlin. We don't look at what color we are when we coach against each other. We just know each other. I have a lot of very good white friends that coach in this league as well, and I don't think it's a big deal as far as us coaching against each other. I think it's normal. Wilks got an opportunity to do a good job. Hopefully he does it. And we coach ball. We don't look at color.
But you also understand that representation matters too, right? And that when young aspiring coaches or even football players, they see you guys, they see someone that looks like them, maybe grew up like them, that has to mean something.
Well, when you say you see you guys and look like them and grow up like them, it means that we're oddballs to begin with. And I think the minute you guys stop making a big deal about it, everybody else will as well.
Bam. I mean, we do an hour on that, right? I mean, let's first of all, at the beginning, let's talk about like this right at the beginning, like the subtle racism of low expectations right at the beginning, acting like all of the black coaches in the NFL are in a group text and talk to each other, like, "Hey guys, how's it?" Like I found that kind of like rather insulting, like it's kind of along the lines like the all black people know each other kind of thing, if you ask me.
Yeah,
I think what the issue is that you're dealing with people who do like a female journalist, right? Like I've heard stories about female journalists that they have like you said, like they have like a group chat and blah blah blah, and they all they all go in there and they vent and the plight of the female journalist and all that. I think because they do that shit, they assume that everybody does that shit.
Yeah,
and it's like, no, the exclusive club that Todd Bowles belongs to is there's only 32 of those jobs in the world, and he's got one of them.
Yeah,
he don't need to be much more exclusive than that. And by the way, the arbitrary color of the man's skin that he had nothing, he didn't earn, he didn't do anything to get. Why should it fucking matter if he's doing his job? I don't understand that. Like, I get and also, sorry, Jess, this is the time of the show where I shit on your generation and the younger generations than yours.
I'm getting used to it.
I'm just really fucking tired of this, representation. It's important. Young people who look like you see people who look like. What the fuck does that mean? Where the fuck do these people think they live?
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's what he was saying when he's like, when you guys say you guys, and them, and he's like, you're calling us oddballs to begin with. That's what I think he was getting at there. He's like, what the fuck do you think of us?
Well, not only that, but where the fuck do you think you're at, and what year do you think it is?
Yes,
to where a black kid in America it's like 10 is being told you can never be a fucking head football coach because you're black.
Look, and then if I'm that kid,
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that it's being told. Massive problem.
No, I'd be raising my hand. And go, did we just have a black president? Like a 2-term black president, but I can't be a head football coach.
I had a black friend.
Is this messaging a little mixed?
Well, I had a black friend when I was younger. We were comparing notes on family shit. And he goes, no one tells me what I can't do except, who tells me what I can't do and what I can't be?
My wife.
I ain't shit.
Yeah.
No, that's when we were kids. My mom.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's the black community right there. Oh, you want to go to college? What's the Chris Rock joke? I just got to college, got my master's degree.
Oh, you
my master now?
Yeah.
Oh, you can count? I count these rocks, bitch.
Yeah. 1, 2, 10, 6.
But It was just funny because it's like, yeah, I don't buy that. Like, where is this happening? First of all, let's look at that statement. The implication of that statement is that obviously people running around telling children who aren't white, straight, and male and upper class, you can't do anything that you set your mind or heart to. You can't you'll never achieve anything.
You're fucked. Why bother?
And it's not because you're dumb, you're lazy, you're not qualified, you don't have the skill set. It's because of your color.
Like, yes, I'm going to pile on to your generation, Jess. Well, it's just because it's a trait of yours and the one below you. No, it's because if you ask these people, it's the most oppressive time to be alive in the United States. That is just not true. Open a history book. All you got to do is go back. Just go past 1964 and start reading and get ready to be horrified. Like, you only got to go to 55 years ago.
Yeah, but then that backfires because then you get some people who start reading and they're like, well, wait a minute, we had Black Wall Street in the 20s, and like the separate but equal is basically like what they were talking about is what we're talking about when we talk about the parallel economies because of and societies because of politics. Yes.
Yeah.
You are turning the fucking clock back 100 years.
Yes, Harvard. I know this is a story from 7 years ago, but when you have a separate graduation ceremony for people of color, we tried to get away from that. Like, why don't you go hog wild? Just go back to fucking laundry fountains, water fountains, bathrooms, lunch counters. Hell, the good old days, back when everything was separate. That's what you're heading for.
That is that way in certain universities.
As they call it where Jess lives 30 years ago.
I mean, we fucking we covered it on Regimented. We talked about it. They have a cafeteria for POCs. No white people allowed at the University of Michigan.
Seriously?
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
Oh yeah.
Just put whites only on the other one.
And by the way, yeah, I know, because like you're excluding whites and you think you're flexing. To quote Jess's generation, that ain't the flex you think it is. Because what you really did is you just made an exclusive whites only club, and then everybody else goes to this one. You just recreated segregation, Jim Crow America. So progressive. Oh, fuck, my dick's hard is so progressive. Oh, Jesus. I can't stand these fucking people. This is and he's absolutely right. And here's the sad part: it's fallen on deaf ears, and it's fallen on deaf ears. Why? Because it's coming from an older black man, and we don't care. Shut up, Isaac. Serve me a drink on the Love Boat. Tell me about the Underground Railroad.
Oh, so you're saying if I'd go through Twitter, we're gonna find Uncle Tom somewhere?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. Because what he said is exactly. Once again, we talked about it on Regimented. When Morgan Freeman said in an interview, he goes, they were like, well, with all the issues and racial strife in America, how do we get past it, Morgan? And he's like, you people need to stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Right to the fucking face of the fucking journalist.
Yeah.
And it was, okay, boomer. Okay, boomer.
Yeah.
That's nice. Here's a man who grew up in a fuck that.
Who actually grew up.
Check that. Was born into a country where he was flat out told you were a second-class citizen.
Yes.
And then shown it to where it removed all doubt from his mind. And he has done what less than 0.00001% of every fucking person born in this country since 1776 has done. And this is his attitude.
Of any race, by the way.
Yes, yeah. Of anybody that, whether they were here before or they came here after. It doesn't matter. And this is his take. And it was just... Okay, that's cute. That's cool. That's cute. He doesn't know what he's talking about. See, I took an African American studies class, and my teacher Sasha, she really, really, really got the black experience across to me. And I just want to say, fuck you, cunt. All you're good for is a cum fucking receptacle. Like idiots. These people are fucking morons. Dismiss. Okay, boomer. Really? This is a man who lived through everything that you're fucking sitting here clutching your pearls and wringing your hands about. And he's got a better perspective on it than you can ever have because that's his lived experience. He's telling you his truth and you're denying him that. That's hate speech. You need a struggle session. Get the comrades in here. My brother in communism, you're wrong. That's not Cash Money of you, and get your shit right and unfuck yourself. Can't be how can you serve the state when you all this wrong think? I can't handle this. Jesus.
Do you need a mental health break?
My entire life is one. But yeah, it is funny. Once again, just stop talking about it. And by the way, I didn't watch the video. I did hear the quote on the local sports talk station. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go ahead and guess by the accents and the smug bullshit of the questions. Both people that were asking questions were white. And that woman at the end following up was white.
I mean, the video is just him.
Oh, okay. All right. Because, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm pulling back the curtain a little bit. I don't know any black person that talks like that when there's not, like, those type of white people around. Like, I've never had any black person I've worked with, lived with, been friends with, come up to me and start talking about their lived experience and all this shit and representation. It's important to be seen and shit, blah, 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 blah. In fact, I don't really know many people of any race who, like, advocate for their race. They advocate for their kin and themselves.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like most. And if you were to think about it, isn't Todd Bowles saying, like, listen, I'm a football coach, but I got way more, this is dumb shit. I got bigger shit to worry about every week than, hey, I'm a black guy and I'm a coach.
Isn't it amazing, by the way, that football, which is, I mean, what is the percentage? Like, what, 70% of the players are black? Like, it's up there.
Oh, yeah, it is most.
Okay. And if you've never been around football players, like, it's fucking jock culture. It's dumb jocks. And it's dumb jocks who pretty much risk the most. Like, any play in football, you could end up dead in any play in hockey, I guess. But I think football, it's like the risk of getting fucked up is a lot stronger. So you have a lot of fucking alpha males with I'm impervious, you cannot hurt me attitudes.
Yeah, keep in mind it's all males in their young to mid 20s too, so you think you're invincible.
Yeah, and your your lived experience has taught you that, I'm going to bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
But when you times your age by 2, you don't bounce back no more. But we'll get to that in 20 years.
Yeah,
but you know what I'm saying? Like, what he expressed, I've heard from athletes on interviews, on like Hard Knocks, any of those type things, 30 for 30s. Like, you very rarely hear racial strife in the athletic, in the locker rooms anymore. It's mostly personality conflicts and egos. Like, when's the last time you heard anything about a fucking professional sports team, even a college sports team, being completely divided over racial shit?
It's been a while. Like, maybe when we were kids. And that's a maybe.
I want to say it was like a college football team that had some issues in the 2000s. There was like some accusation, like Colorado University maybe, or was that rape accusation? I can't remember. But even then, let's split the difference. Say 2005. That's almost 20 years ago. I mean,
ouch.
I mean, but my point. Yeah, I know, right? It's just accept it. We're old. There's no getting around that shit.
That one hurt.
But
you just said it so casually too. Like,
it was 20 years ago. Almost. We got 3. Two-ish.
Hey, whatever. This year was 25 years since I graduated high school. It's no violins for you over here.
It'd be 32 for me.
Yeah.
Did you go to your reunion?
No.
I didn't even walk. I had a job. They were like, you want to walk? Do I have to? Can I get my diploma? We can hand it to you right now. Okay, I got to go to work. Thank you. I don't give a fuck about that. My family does not give a fuck about graduating high school because you're supposed to do it.
Facebook killed reunions. The closest thing I got to a reunion is in 2018, like a friend of mine got married, and a bunch of us that hadn't seen each other since we graduated got invited to the wedding. So it was like an unintentional reunion. That's it. Anyway.
I went to my 10-year, last
to be
year.
like, hey, how you doing? Well, been out of college a couple of years. Cool. I mean, what is a 10-year really?
It was odd.
Hold on. I'm sorry, Jess. I just got to say, 10 years is long enough to see like who got fat. 5 is like, bro, you barely changed your hairstyle. You still part your hair in the middle. Like
That's true. If you think about it in the grand scheme of life, there's a pretty big chasm between 18 and 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, a lot of men and ladies can hit the wall by 28. I've seen it. Yeah.
So
his jawbone out.
So what was your experience?
Mine, we literally stood around the cafeteria, reminisced about how much we hated the school, and then went and watched a football game. And they like called us out for being the reunion over there watching the football game. That was it. There were very few people there. My graduating class was over 300, and there might have been 60 people max.
Yeah,
and that includes spouses too, like that didn't go to the school.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just reunions to me. Like, anyone I want to talk to, it's a line from the show Entourage, but like, I think it was their 10-year reunion in the show, and they were like, "You're not going to go to the reunion?" You know, and they've all known each other since they were kids, and they're like, anyone I talk to from high school's in this room.
Yeah,
like anyone from high school who I want to have a friendship or,
I can still talk to them.
Yeah, I never stopped talking to them, or if we did, it was just life got in the way, and then when we saw each other, we understood it, didn't take it personal, and got the fuck on with our relationship.
Like, there's a couple guys I see them like once a year because of life.
Yeah,
but I still see them.
And same here. I got friends that are like, when we see each other, we pick right up where we left off. It's like one friend, we went 10 years between seeing each other, and then like his new girlfriend and my ex-wife now, but at the time my wife, it was like, it's disgusting watching these two because they'd never seen us together, and they were like, you're like two little kids, fucking sitting here giggling and laughing about everything.
Oh yeah, no, I got my one, but I saw him and right back. We're like 15, being idiots again.
But I do have to ask this.
Okay.
Where exactly was the reunion?
It was at the school. It was at the high school.
So the football game you watched was a high school football game?
Yeah, it was the high school's game.
Gotcha. Okay. And was there booze served?
No.
I
don't even think they gave us food. It was literally just like lingering in the cafeteria, and then we went out to
no cafeteria pizza.
Okay, listen, that's half the reason I showed up.
And the tater tots.
I wanted my Clucks Deluxe.
Reunions.
It was so funny. It was still cliquey.
Well, first of all, what the fuck's the point of going as an adult if you ain't drinking?
Agreed.
So I mean, if you guys have another one, and you're thinking about going, you need to go in there and like politely but firmly take over at least, and be like, we're doing this where we can drink.
Yeah, people need to get drunk and make mistakes.
We're gonna be talking about this one, okay? No, I don't think that I would ever go back. Honestly,
like I said, I high school. My one friend from high school that I'd still talk to, he died in 2015. There you go. Even if I went, I don't know if anyone would know. First of all, it's in Florida, and I haven't seen anyone since I graduated. So they wouldn't know me, and I wouldn't know them probably. I'd be like, you kind of look familiar, and they'd be like, you do too. Put your hat on. Oh shit, it's Rich. Yeah. What happened to your hair? Like, it went gray, motherfucker. At least I still got some. Fuck off.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches,
urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home. at DispatchHealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at DispatchHealth.com.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
All right. Well, what else we have? Because I know we have the speed round before we exit here. Like the
let's see
more compact subjects, if you will.
Okay. A quick one, a maybe quick one, would be the skulls in Mexico City that equal gender equality.
Okay. I'm hoping that this is a
satirical
or altered meme situation. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not real, but I'm afraid it is. It's from The Economist. It's a screenshot of an article, and the article says archaeologists discover a gruesome tower of skulls in Mexico City. Not really surprising if you know history. Then underneath it says, pioneers of gender equality, the Aztecs sacrificed women as well as men. Huh. And that's where I was just like, what the fuck are we supposed to do with that?
Trying to find this. Wow, this can't be real. I'm look this up.
We're on the Google machine now.
Well, that's what I said. I mean, there's a video going around of Jill Biden at the Eagles game. Now they did boo her, but
absolutely,
but it was not like someone released a video where they had done an added audio to it, and they had the whole crowd chanting. Like above you, where you couldn't even hear Jill Biden. They had her chanting at her, "Fuck Joe Biden," and I'm like, "That's not what happened." You know what I'm saying? And people were passing around like, "Oh, look at this," and I'm like, "That you watched it live on TV, motherfucker? Did you hear 40,000 people screaming, 'Fuck Joe Biden' all at once?"
I did.
40,000, dude. You got to see this video. I'm not. Don't get it twisted. I'm not fucking saying that she wasn't booed. I'm just saying this video made it sound like Nebworth or something. Like that many fucking people to the point where she couldn't be heard saying whatever the fuck she was saying. And I'm like, I've seen the other videos. That wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've seen the videos of people in the crowd. Not everybody's fucking screaming, "Fuck Joe Biden." I'm like, the point is, you got them fucking booing her already. Why would you make it worse and release it? You know what I'm saying? Like that clicks or discredit the entire situation, to cast doubt on the entire situation, muddy the waters.
By the way, this article is real, and it's from 2017.
Oh yeah,
pioneers of gender equality, the Aztecs. Wow. Okay, let's read this brilliance. Let's see what goes. Come on, let's get to the good part here. I have to have an account to read the end of the story. It just describes the sacrificing, and then I have to pay to read the rest. Like it talks about the sacrificing, and then the guy finding the skulls, and then the story fades away. But it is a true story. My story was answered. My question was answered.
That's how shit is being written. That's how shit is being painted.
It's very grasping at straws-y to me. Like we're looking for it in anything we can find.
Shit. I cannot remember the pod. I think maybe podcast of the Lotus Eaters. They were talking about a subject, and they were showing history books. There are literally in public schools in America now Black history books, not like Black History Month books, Black history books. And the way, and like they were showing like, the pages, inside the lessons and stuff. And one of them was like, we conquered this and this and this. We conquered this and this and this. And I'm like, how many history books did we read in school? Dozens at least, right?
Yes.
Were any of them ever written in the first person perspective?
No.
Of the white race? Like, we discovered America. No.
It's written in like past tense of like, here's what happened.
Yeah, or we
took down them limey bastards.
The only we really would be like in a sense of like a nationalism. Like we as a nation.
Yeah, we the people.
So once again, we're back to, we have a generation. This is the same generation. The least masculine generation in the history of history has decided masculinity is the biggest problem that they're facing. But this same generation is pulling this shit now. I mean, it's okay. Sure, good for you. Like, we conquered this. Like, didn't we go through all this? Like when we were kids, like, you know, how we teach children and this and this and this. And if you start, like, you are literally teaching kids to think of themselves as
like a monolith.
Well, a monolithic group, but you're also teaching the groups to hate each other, to see each other as the other. All I've heard for a fucking decade is the othering. The othering. That's what people of color, that's what happens in America. We other them. The queer people, we other them. The same people who've been saying this shit are doing it right now, and it's gotten to the point where it's in history books where they're talking about we and, mass genocide? At least they were gender fucking equal. Really? What's our thoughts on the Ukraine-Russian conflict?
Well,
how about global warming? What do they think about that?
Well, where does it stop? Because, here he comes. Was Hitler a pioneer of gender equality?
Yeah, he killed women, children.
Was Stalin a pioneer of gender equality?
I mean, just equality across the board.
Yeah.
You are all equally worthless. And once you were one of the others, men, women, children, we don't care, kill them all. So yeah, that's equal. If that's the end goal,
were the Turks pioneers of gender equality?
But you get the point of these people don't even know what the fuck they're talking about, and they're trying to fucking dictate to all of us how we're gonna fucking, like, this is how history is. No, it's not. And here's the deal. We're old enough to remember that this is bullshit. We're not 5. We don't have soft spots at the top of our head anymore. Okay? You can't sell us this bullshit. But yeah,
and trust me, don't get it wrong. Like, we're not shitting on the fact that there's Black history shouldn't be taught. Trust me, we were in high school and we were of the age of going, hey, why don't you, could you tell us everything?
I'll tell you this. They actually taught us about Malcolm X.
Yeah.
In my school, and not just during Black History Month. And I'll say
it was
this,
part of our regular curriculum.
This is one of the progressive the quote unquote progressives, the woke fucking woke flakes. This is one of their battle cries, or not battle cries, but this is one of their spiritual leaders is Malcolm X, but only about certain things, because they really don't like to talk about how he warned like pretty much everybody about, like, don't trust the fucking white liberal, because it's all about them. It's all about how they can feel good helping us put upon so-called Negroes. Yeah, they don't like that being brought up. You know what I'm saying? Like, This shit is removing the context of history and looking at history through we've all called it this, but apparently it's in academic circles, it's been coined, it has a proper name now. Presentism, meaning you view the entire history of the world through the lens of what is right and wrong now. And if it doesn't fucking line up with what you feel is right and wrong now, then it's evil and condemn it, and we need to never talk about it except to, like, you know, drag it out when we have a struggle session with people who go, why the fuck do I got to be punished for what happened 250 years ago?
Oh yeah, Maher went on a rant about that a few weeks ago. Like, it's not all about right now. Like, it's pretty much history happened. You learn from it. You can't pretend like it didn't happen. That's how you move forward. You acknowledge the past.
But it's not about acknowledging the past. It's not about, like, hearing these people talk. Like, the podcast that brought attention to the story that I was listening to, they had a person that was, like, defending it, and she was talking about how they have to recontextualize and correct history. And I'm like, not a specific book that has a passage you disagree with that you want to correct.
Yeah. All of history. Yeah.
Whose moral compass are we setting
who's writing this?
Yeah. What's the universal, where's the sundial we're all setting our clocks to is what I want to know. The moral sundial. Let's put it that way.
Here's a point that just popped in my cranium. You know how slavery stays illegal? We acknowledge history because we look back and go, oh, let's not do that again. That was not our best moment.
Well, that was another thing because podcasts of Lotus Eaters, I think it's almost exclusively Europeans. That's one of the things they brought up was that a lot of this shit is it's Black American centric and it's American centric. Meaning when you say slavery any place else but this country, other countries don't think of the same model of slavery that we think of. We say slavery and we think of people not getting paid, people being beat to death. That's not the model for slavery to most of the world. Slave labor, like slave wages, anti-suicide nets, that's slavery
right.
to the rest of the world. And we come into the room talking about we're America, we know everything. We're the youngest country in the world, except for one, but we're also the best. Why? Because we say so. And it's like, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? The rest of the world is not going to get on our page and be like, oh, yes, we'll change our thousands upon thousands of years old views to fit your brand new, just come up, pulled out your ass idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
no, you know what? We're a 23-year-old who just got out of college and we think we fucking know everything.
Well, that, and just the fact that we're talking to people about morality and how they're wrong and they don't know history. And at the end of their block is a 1,000-year-old church, and this country ain't even 250 years old. Come on, man. I really got to explain this to people. Like, you're not. It's like a white person walking into a Black Panther convention and going, "I'm going to tell you how to be the best black man you can be. First, we're going to put rebel flags all over everything." You know, and it's like, no, that's not how this works. That's not how none of this works.
All right, new national anthem. Hope you like Hank Williams.
Hank, why do you drink?
To get drunk. Sorry.
Oh, God. All right, well, do we have any other little quick hits?
The climate activist throwing tomato soup on Van Gogh's sunflower.
What? Isn't this like the same shit, just like warmed over from 50 years ago? Like, it's just okay.
Well, what did they do 50 years ago?
No, just invite the environmental activists doing this kind of shit.
But now they have the Green New Deal on their side. They also super glued their hand to a wall.
Not in England. That's where this happened. This was in England.
Okay, but they have their version of it. And say it in a British accent. It'll be the same thing.
I thought that, like, pretty much the Green New Deal was like the, what is it, the G8 summits or whatever?
Yeah, like the WEF sort of thing.
Yeah. I always thought that that's pretty much, it was built on their cornerstone beliefs. So, I mean, it's pretty much, I guess, global, like, law. I mean, it's going to affect people outside of this country if it works the way they say they want it to, which, you know, well, whatever, we'll see.
And
it's the government. I don't trust them to make anything work, right?
And these activists, they were yelling like, "Oh, we spend all this money protecting this painting, but we don't spend it on protecting the planet." And this, and then it's another talk about end fossil fuels. Like, when people are talking about getting rid of fossil fuels, I don't think they understand, at least to not just our economy, but the world's economy, the huge fucking blow that would be. I don't think people understand the implications of getting rid of fossil fuels completely.
No.
But
no, it's a great, it sounds like a great idea until you look at the logistics of it.
How many jobs are tied to it? Like, shit like that.
I don't think they care. Just be honest with you. I don't think these people care. These are people who, like, these type of people who are like, we want, whole world should have universal basic income, basically. I mean,
who's paying for it? We all will.
Who pays for everything?
It won't be free.
According to them, it just falls out their ass. Like I said, I got a family member. He's an authoritarian communist, and he grew up and he had his own private bathroom that nobody else could use. It's the type of person you're dealing with. People that don't make sense, that don't think shit through. Like, I know about the struggle, comrade, with your private bathroom that you grew up with. Really? Okay.
I get a UBI, but there's an 80% tax rate on my regular job. Yeah, so you really into UBI? Anyway.
Well, point is that they're not thinking this through. I mean, this is up there with. Really, honestly, it's to me. I think they're attacking anything that's not bathed in my modern values and thought processes.
You're trying not to say wokeness, aren't you?
No, I'm just like I don't want to say like traditional, but anything that's I guess traditional. Anything that's traditional, they just attack, and this just feels like another case of it because like. Remember when, like in the 90s, when like SUV car lots were getting set on fire by environmentalists and shit, and they would then they would run off and with a VHS camera record it and then like dub tapes and pass them around, be like, ooh, look what we did. And, eventually law enforcement would get it. Here's the thing about that. They thought that they were being so fucking subversive and revolutionary. They caused more pollution by burning all them fucking vehicles than if all them vehicles drove on the road for 200,000 miles. And then we're fucking retired off the road.
And nobody keeps talking. Like, this is a fact. You can look this up, people. The amount of coal that it takes to produce an electric car battery is insane. And that's where they want everything to go. Like, do you know what coal does to the atmosphere? Like, just look up pictures of the Pittsburgh skyline in the 70s.
Well, that's why they have to reduce all the... We're going to put all that pollution into the air to make these batteries. So we got to reduce the pollution that cows put in the air. So eat your bugs and drink your cockroach milk and you'll own nothing and be happy. They've got your life planned out for you. Don't worry. They'll get around to you eventually. All you can really do is hope you die before at this point. I mean, I don't care. That's a conspiracy theory. Okay. Motherfucker, what has happened in the last 5 years where meat is enemy number one in this fucking country? And when I go, why? It's the environment. Cows eating too much grass? Well, they fart a lot, methane.
All right, so let's get everyone eating beans.
So do 7 billion people.
Right, but let's start feeding all of them beans. That'll fix the problem, right? No, wait.
Once again, we're environmentalists. We don't like these SUVs. We're going to burn 150 of them and cause more fucking pollution in a smaller time, in a more concentrated amount, than if they ran for 20 years, all of them, which is statistically almost impossible. So, yeah, this is the people you're dealing with. Doesn't make sense. They don't care. But, yeah, I said it before Jess joined the show. I said it when it was just me, you, and Earl. I said, in you guys' lifetime, there will be a serious push to abandon meat. And we just talked about it last week. Australian fucking public schools.
My fucking cold dead hands.
There you go. Eat your cockroaches. Drink your cockroach milk.
Take my warm pink center from my cold dead hands.
And here's the deal. If this is what we really had to do to survive as a species, okay. I'm not happy, but I get it. But we all know, all three of us and everyone listening to my voice right now knows that the people sitting at the top of this fucking pyramid we call the world ain't going to be eating bugs and drinking cockroach milk. And they're going to own everything, and they're going to love it. So, yeah. But the status quo, right? Can't shake that up. These people don't care about the status quo. None of this shit's the status quo anymore. They're making this shit up as they go along and hoping they get it right. We're just along for the ride.
Pretty much.
Mom's looking after me and my kin.
All right, one more tiny tidbit. America's trust in the media is near a record low.
Shocking.
And that's it. Show. Done.
Yeah. This is a Gallup poll too, so it isn't like from make up your own fake website because it's late in the show and I'm too tired to think of something clever.org. Yeah, it's a Gallup poll, and yeah, and if you get into the minutia of the article, hey, guess who trusts the media more along party lines, and guess who doesn't trust the media? You get two guesses.
Does the first one count?
Yes.
I know. Like, I feel like we say this at least once every 3 months, so at least 4 times a year on this show. Did you ever think you'd live long enough to see everything switch, to see the Republicans become the party that's beating the drum for free speech, whether or not it's truly they believe it or not? They're the party that's carrying that torch at this point. And when we were kids, it was the Democrats who fucking wrapped themselves in that fucking, cloak and was like, oh, we're the party of free speech. Everything's tipped on its fucking head. I'm sitting here and I'm looking at these midterm elections coming up, and the polls, and of course polls ever since 2016.
Yeah.
You got your poll, I got my underwear that I shit myself and threw.
Oh, the first thing I do when I read an article about a poll, I go right to the bottom and see how many people it is. If it's below 1,000 people, I don't even read the fucking article.
Yeah. So that's as most polls. But,
we asked 424 people. Well, this is dumb. I'm next.
Yep.
But it's but I think a big thing about this poll is they were saying the independents, like usually, what did they say? They said something crossed that's significant. Hold on, let me find it here. Where is the chart? This is the first time that the people who trust the media a fair amount, a great deal, has been lower than the people who trust it not very much. Like, it's the first time those have crossed since they've been measuring something like this. Like, this is the first time a majority of people don't trust the media.
You're the resident contrarian on this show. Can you make a case why the average person should trust the media?
Right now, no. Just based on the amount of typos I fucking see. Just based on that if you're not even proofreading, it makes me just wonder, if you're not proofreading, how much are you fact checking? I mean, just based on that, but just how much stuff has been proven false, or just things that have just been run and made. For examples, right? Nicholas Sandmann, Jesse Smollett. I think there's a third example in there of just like
Bubba Wallace.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace. Things where the media just ran with it and made something that it wasn't, and then it turns out that it was not the thing that they were saying. I mean, the fact that we can now go, the fact that we can go through and do that now, we could not do that when we were younger. Like, we trusted Dan Rather and Tom Brokaw and Peter Jennings because the news meant something. There was still the journalistic ethics.
This is the problem. As it stands right now, I truly think, like, on the whole, we're the last generation that, like, these type of things mean anything to us.
Because I know objectivity is gone too, because I now know what team, and this is on both sides of the aisle. Generally now I know what team when I'm reading, because I choose to like try to read all my stuff because you can see the bias. But I know what team that the person writing the article is on. You're not supposed to do that, and it wasn't like that until we were adults. Like the last 10 years. At least until I was 30, there was still somewhat objectivity in the media. And it seems like after 30, like, it's just been like, nope, fuck it. If you're on the blue team, you watch this news network. If you're on the red team, you watch this news network. What about somebody in the middle who just wants to get the news? I just want to know if the fucking bomb's coming.
Well, that's what Reuters and AP used to be, but even that's fucking gone.
No, they're gone now too. I now no longer. I have blocked Reuters and AP as sources for Google News to use because I'm not supposed to know the opinion of the person writing the thing. Not everything's not an editorial piece. That's not how it's supposed to be.
See, I guess I'm the type who, like, the minute I see that this is going to be one of those stories where it's like the bias is there, I dive in because I know where they're coming from. So I can at least be like, I have a point of reference constantly in this story. No matter what, I can go back to this person is coming from this political or whatever ideology or whatever the fuck.
Well, no, that's why I just go, okay, I know what team you're on next. Like, I know.
Well, I mean, it depends. If it's just fucking, my side good, other side bad, I'm not reading that article. Most of the shit I'm talking about is it gets a little bit more nuanced and it gets into the tall grass. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're really getting into shit. And it's like, sometimes it's nice to be like, all right, I know this person's always going to have this bias.
Mm-hmm.
So automatically, I know that's there. That's the baseline. And like I said, it's just easier for me because it's like, it's not necessarily what they're saying in the article. It's how they massage the language. They massage the fucking story. They frame the story. They do such subtle tricks. That's what I look for in news stories. And I think more people, for better or for worse, have learned how to do that on a subconscious level. And there's even a smaller group who are conscious that they're doing it now. And they're telling other people, hey, that's your bullshit detector. Good. Because you've been getting bullshitted all your life and you need to wake the fuck up. Like, there's no reason a news corporation owned by a multinational, conglomeration is going to tell you anything that's going to make it's true, period. They're going to do what's in their best interest.
Mm-hmm.
And what's in their best interest, whether you are a politician, a clergy member, a CEO, if you are in the ruling class, the first thing you have to do is get everybody under control and get everybody at least rowing in the same direction.
You got to control the message.
Yes, exactly. And this, I'm not saying this as in everything that has a bias, dismiss. Because that's the other thing. If a person will admit flat out, right up front, I am biased, however, I can set my biases aside and look at this, you know what I'm saying, from an objective point of view, that also informs me of the type of person I'm reading, the type of mentality.
I have no problem with opinion pieces when it's labeled as an opinion piece.
Yeah, basically. Don't in Jess's generation's terms, don't gaslight us. In our generation term, stop pissing on my leg and tell me it's raining.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's simple. What's the song say? If you will, what was it? Hip Hop by Dead Prez. If you will wire wearing FBI agent, I'm gonna know it. Just say it. You know what I'm saying? Don't even try to how you doing, fellow revolutionaries? Get the fuck out of here, fucking federal agent. Yeah, okay, Agent Smith. Have a nice day.
Yeah, don't let me get fully invested in your article and then at the end be like, oh, God damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
This is just your opinion the whole fucking time.
But it is important. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there who are very good at grifting, and you have to be vigilant, almost bordering on hyper vigilant about it. Jess and I talked. We were talking off the air, and we were talking about what exactly? We were talking about the parallel economy and shit. Now I'm getting fucking tired because I just completely lost. I got so busy trying to figure out what we were talking about. I forgot where I was going with that. I'm sorry.
If you give me more, I'd be able to probably contribute to this, but I don't.
I can't because I got lost trying to find.
You can't pick up on the vague clues he's laid down?
No, because I can't even pick up on the vague clues in my mind. I was trying to fucking clear the cobwebs out. Yeah. Anyways.
Well, maybe that's a sign then.
Yeah, I tried to go out on a strong note, but, hey, a dribble or two on your fucking pelvis. Sorry it didn't cover your tits. We still came.
You got to wrap that gavel up. All right, so, blah. Yeah, exactly. Words coming out of my mouth.
It's rather late for us.
Yeah. Follow us on social media. I almost gave out the old at Gen Exhausted Pod on Twitter. Same thing on Facebook, where you can like us and share us.
I just had a thought. If both of us die in a horrible house fire, Jess, you could continue the podcast and change it to Jess Exhausted. And then just get on and bitch.
It sounds millennial-y.
No, you want to know what's millennial-y, Chris? Is that you still have Gen Exhausted listed as 3 dudes.
Oh, yeah, I got to fix that. I noticed that.
We know how you, we really know how you identify. So we're just trying to help you, sir.
Yeah, no,
I'm just saying, that. You have a very womanly set of balls. Very ladylike cock. I mean, it's
big breasts.
Thing.
I stepped all over the outro. Fucking sorry. Go ahead.
Go to the ChristopherMedia.net, hit the PayPal button and the Amazon banner if you'd like to help us out with a little bit of commerce. And wherever you listen to the show, if you have the ability to rate and review us, please do. It's how you help other people find the show, because that's how things are done in 20 Deuce Deuce. Thanks for listening. Catch you next week.
Later, guys.
See ya.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.